What do you say, folks? It's Dave here with Big Joe Cards, and I'm going to have a little Sunday night chat going on here. A few things we want to talk about. Nothing too heavy tonight, I don't think, I hope. You never know where it's going to go, right? You do,
Right?
you
You
never
never know where
know
the conversation's
where
gonna
it's
go.
going to go. But the topic I threw out for tonight was, as you can see, is what was your your toughest loss? What loss hurt the most, or whatever I word it is? And the reason I say that is, I actually did watch some of the World Series. And I thought the World Series are pretty good against so someone who doesn't watch a lot of baseball. Baseball playoffs are usually pretty cool. They really are. And so I watched it last night, and I didn't have a skin in the game. I didn't care. Part of me was
Hmm.
pulling for the Blue Jays just because I don't like the teams that spend $27 billion and win a World Series and say, "Oh my gosh, we no one respected us." No, dude, you spent more money. We could have gone to the moon and back on the money you spent on that baseball team. So don't start telling me that you were the underdogs and no one respected you, and you were the favorite by a mile. So part of me pulls for the underdog with the Blue Jays. That being said, there were so many things going on in that game, and how many times it almost ended, and how many times somebody almost won or the other team almost won. Someone's going to go home crying last night,
Yeah.
and they were talking about how some of the kids growing up that weren't alive the last time the Blue Jays went to the World Series or won it. I don't know if they won it or not. I think they did, but um, this is going to be really hard for a lot of young people and adults too, but especially the young people who never had that heartache like they had last night. And there was just, so I was like, okay, we'll talk about that. We'll get the chat room going here tonight, and me and Joe will talk. It's like, what was your toughest loss as a kid? What was the worst loss that you had? And maybe as an adult, it doesn't have to be a kid. It can be any time. So I thought that would be fun tonight, and
Hmm.
we'll talk about that World Series too a little bit. We'll do that as well here tonight as Barbara comes by, and
Bob,
Brian
Brian,
and David come by. Um,
Dave,
so um, so
you're gonna make me start this off?
let's talk about the game first. Let's talk
Okay.
about the game. We'll start. We'll start.
Okay.
We'll start with some fun things before we start
Yes.
crying. I do have a towel over here and
It's
Kleenex.
my
I can
heart. My
start
heart is
crying.
already hurting.
Um, Boy, I tell you, that they talk about good World Series and great World Series. Yeah, that has to be up there. Just the way Toronto opened up in L.A. with a big win, what they get like 11 runs in that first game, and then
Right.
L.A. come back and they took a game, and then they won one in Toronto and two in Toronto maybe. I forget what it was, but they kept going back and forth. Toronto saves one of the games up there in LA. There was an 18 inning game that the Dodgers won. All kinds of stuff going on. It was really, really something else. And so then they go back to Toronto, with two games to win one at home in front of the home crowd and for Canada, and they lose game six, and then game seven is that extra innings. And what more could you ask for as a baseball fan than extra innings, game seven World Series? There's nothing more you can ask for
No.
than that. And how close they came to winning that. The play at the plate by inches, that catch in the outfield. I thought the guys are going to crash. The ball's going to hit the ground. It's like I'm thinking, what a way to end the World Series, or
Hmm.
something like that. But the guy they brought in, I guess he wasn't that good, but he was a good fielder, so they put him in just for the fielding, and he made the catch. That's pretty unbelievable. You talk about bringing in pinch hitters and they come through. You bring in a pinch fielder and he comes through. So all that. I was talking to Juckett today actually, and I says, pick any team in the league, whatever your favorite team is. If you said that here's the scenario, it's going to be a tie game in your ballpark, game seven, bottom of the ninth, bases loaded. Would you take that? Of course
Every
you would.
every day,
Every day, yeah. That's the scenario as a kid,
especially being a Met fan.
right? But you know, um, Well, my chat room's kind of weird over here. Sorry, but hopefully things are okay because my chat
I'm
room's
I'm
weird.
seeing it good.
Okay. It's just kind of bouncing around. But anyway, I mean, how many times as kid do we pick up? I mean, I used to, as a kid, right, when I was, young teenager, I would grab a bat and I'd go outside and I'd swing and I'd pretend I was Jim Rice and then I'd swing lefty and I'd pretend I was Yaz,
Mhm.
and it's every time we did it, it's bottom of the ninth, bases, that's what it was. That scenario that everybody grabs a bat and pretends it's the bottom of the ninth with bases loaded, that scenario happened. And they couldn't push the run across. And I remember saying, I think I posted on Facebook, it says, you can't have the bases loaded in the bottom of the ninth with
You
a
did
chance to
post
win
that.
it in game 7 in your rink, field, arena, whatever I said, and come away empty. I said, you can't do that. And I says,
No.
when they blew that, I says, I really think that was kind of that was too much for them. And then the Dodgers got their home runs. The Dodgers tied it first, but then they had that. But yeah, that was just. I kind of thought that was the kiss of death right there. They came so close. Although they did rally in the 11th, and they had the guy on third and just couldn't do it. But yeah, I mean, I gotta say, as someone who doesn't really watch modern baseball, I enjoyed it.
Hmm.
I will plan on, if they have the World Series teams for Apple, I will definitely pick that up and play that series. I think that could be fun. I don't know many of the players, but it was such a fun series that I wouldn't mind playing it and learning some of the guys. I know that Otani guy and stuff like that, but it would be kind of fun, just to replay that series using the as played lineup.
Right, right.
And just have some fun with it. And I don't know who else would come up with the World Series. I wouldn't get the whole season by any stretch, but I would play. I would play the
I know that Play usually around the end of September comes out with a I forgot what the title, but it's the 2025 up until that point. So I'm sure I
okay.
know a lot of people were replaying it now using
Okay.
those cards.
Nice. All right, so let's go to the chat room here and see what's going on. So Brian joins us, and David and Tim. And so the question here, and we'll look at some of the chat and read the answers, and then we'll chime in from time to time, is what was your worst loss? What was your worst sports loss? What was the toughest sports loss that you've had in your lifetime, whether it's a kid, whether it's now? Let's talk about it, as we feel bad for the Blue Jays fans who came so close, a couple, game of inches at the plate in the outfield. So let's start with Matty Moe, who says the Mets losing to the Dodgers in '88 broke his heart. I don't
Okay,
remember that
I
one
do.
there, but because I know, well, actually, I'm playing '88 Red Sox A's is what I'm playing there now. The A's went on to win. Now, who played in the series in '88? I don't remember that one.
It was the Dod. They lost to the Dodgers. The Dodgers knocked them out.
Oh, was that
Yep.
the
The
home
walk.
run?
Yep.
What's his name? Hit
Kurt
that home?
Kurt Gibson.
Yeah, Gibson. That's right, Gibson. Okay, yeah,
Limping Kurt Gibson.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
and you just knew it as a
What
Mets fan.
wasn't that? Let's talk about that for a second.
You
Wasn't
knew it
that?
as a Met fan. You just knew it when he walked up to the plate. You just knew it.
But wasn't that really cool? That was it. Lasorda pinch hit, put him up, knowing he couldn't run, and he had bad knees, and
Hmm.
so anything was a ground ball would have been an out. He might have got it out a single, but he just hits the home run, and it just was so perfect. And it's just he's literally limping around the bases. I imagine the pain went away after the ball sailed into the bleachers. So I bet the pain went away for a little while. But yeah, that was something else. Zach says the 2009 Eastern Conference Finals Game 2. It didn't end the series, but Gino's hat trick ripped my heart out. Yep, that's
Okay.
it's a tough one. 007 comes by. I would say the Phillies losing the 93 World Series in that game 6. I need to look some of these up. So Phillies 93 World Series game 6. So they played, that was the Blue Jays. Oh, the Blue Jays did win it in 93.
Yeah.
Oh, and it was 6 games too. Again, I'm not familiar with some of this. So 8-6 Blue Jays over the Phillies. Yep. So that was a heartbreaker for him. And now we'll go back to the Ryan comes by. Thanks, Ryan. David
Ryan.
says mine was 87 when the Bears lost to the Redskins 21-17. That was the Darryl Green ran the punt back for a touchdown game. It was also Walter Payton's last game. So 87 Bears Redskins. I don't remember that one too much. Let me see if I can look that one up too. So 87. So I'm taking that's playoffs, right? So 87. And yeah, 21-17. Yeah, Redskins over the Bears. At Chicago, by the way. Oof.
Yeah.
Do you think it's worse when it happens at home? I think it is.
I do. I do.
You
When
know,
you
'cause-
to watch another team, especially celebrate on your ice or your field,
yeah. Well, that's what
that's
happened twice to the Bruins recently. They had Chicago
yeah,
up against the ropes, and they were ready to go back to Chicago for Game 7. And Chicago scores 2 goals in the final minute, and they win the cup. And then they got Game 7 at home against the Blues, and the
right.
Blues beat them, and the Blues skate around with the cup. It's like, holy cow, you guys! You know, because I really wasn't into those seasons anyway. So I was kind of, it didn't bother me as much as it did as a kid. You know, so I will I will talk about mine a little bit later on.
hmm
Let's see here. D13. Growing up, my NL team were the Cardinals, and my favorite AL team. Well, at least your favorite football team wasn't the Cardinals. That's true. Some Road says it's Blue Monday. Yeah, I guess it would be for some of the Toronto fans. Zach says honorable mention 20-02, the 0-2 Stanley Cup Finals Game 3, the overtime game won by Larionov. And one of the Super Bowls, Super Bowl XXV. I don't even know which one that is, but yes, what a brutal way to lose. Oh, was that the missed kick? Was that the Buffalo Bills missed kick? It might have been.
No.
No?
No.
38, Super Bowl 38.
You're talking about the missed field goal that was against the Giants in '90 when Parcells called the timeout to freeze the kicker.
Oh, because I'm looking over here. Super Bowl 30. Oh, that's New England, Carolina? That's 38. Does it say 38 on there? Is it?
Yeah, it did say 38.
Okay. So New England, Carolina. I don't remember. I didn't think that was a
Yeah.
heartbreaking game at all.
Well, he might have had a loss in the pool.
Yeah, they had that was another last second field goal, but
Yeah, right.
I'm not sure that was a crazy way to lose it. Brian says, Game 5, 1984 NLCS. Cubs lose to the Padres after being up 2-0. As an athlete, my senior season in high school, only time I ever had a chance to make a game-winning shot at the buzzer and missed.
Can I ask Brian a question on that?
Sure.
Brian, the '84 Cubs lose to the Padres. That was a heartbreaker for you. Is this why we've never seen a 1984 set in History Maker baseball?
Ooh, shots fired. Oh boy. Alrighty, so let's get to Ryan. Oh, of course, it's got to be soccer. 2022 MLS Cup. We're both familiar with that. It'd be fun to replay this if we
Heartbreaker's a
win.
heartbreaker.
Yeah, heartbreaker's a heartbreaker. Somehow it'd be better to replay for you. I will say that, Ryan, that he brings up a good point. Sometimes it's funner to replay something here in your tabletop that your team didn't win. Like 70-71 is a
If
favorite
they
season of
didn't win,
mine.
yeah.
And that's the year the Bruins didn't win that they should have. They were the best
Right.
team, and they won on either end of that. But
But
that
sick
year,
record that year.
yeah, Dryden just swept them away, and Phil
Yeah.
Esposito said, we just can't score on this guy. And so the Canadians went all the way and won it that year. So, but yeah, that's fun to play because that's the year they didn't win. So there's no expectations. And so if they win it, good for you. Hooray, I corrected history. But when you play a season that they did win it all, it's still kind of fun, but it's, now you can maybe not win it. And then you're bummed out. Like I'm trying to pick out a season for Apple football to get. Oh, by the way, they're out of 86. They sold out of 86 already. So App has been
and sold
selling
out
out.
of football too. I
Yeah,
think the game.
The basic football and the basic baseball, I think, are
Yeah.
out of stock. So they've never been out of stock of things. That's the weird thing about it. Is one of the reasons I do like ordering from Apple is that everything's in stock. So
Mhm.
any season you want. But The football's they don't have every football season, but as far as baseball and hockey, they always had everything in stock. So I thought it was weird that people saying, "Hey, I'm trying to order the football game; it's out of stock. The
Yeah.
baseball game's out of stock, and 86 now is out of stock for football." So, but I'm trying to pick a season out. And it's like, do I want to? Not that they have seasons that the Patriots won. I think I have 01 is the only one I got. But if they had come out with a season they won a Super Bowl, would I want to get that one, or would I want to get one they didn't win? Excuse me, they have 2006, I think they just come out with, or they redid it, whatever it is. They advertise that. That's the one I remember that the Patriots were in Indianapolis, beating them pretty good, and then they fell apart and lost to the Colts. That would be fun to go and replay that to see if they could win, and then maybe have them go to the Super Bowl and play the Bears to see if they could beat the Bears, because there's that what if type of thing, because they didn't win it. So maybe see if I can get them to win it. So I'm tempted to get that 06 season to see if I can right that wrong. So it's a good point by Ryan. Sometimes it's almost better to play the seasons that they lost in, so there's no hard feelings.
You talk about getting a season where your team lost and replaying it could be fun. I've tried it several times with the 2013-14 Rangers against the LA Kings. I've done it I did it in shootout hockey, and I did it in Stratomatic, and I get swept every time. I can't beat the Kings.
I play 71-72 hockey against Bruins Rangers, and the Rangers win every time. Every time. And I can't get the Bruins to win that series for the life of me. And I've tried a couple different games. I'll try again. It's because that's a fun series.
And I probably will too.
But yeah, the one thing about these games is when teams just get hot, that's the one that you just can't mimic that sometimes. You can't recreate that.
Listen, Giants, how many times can you play the Giants Patriots?
Oh,
right?
yeah.
07. And the Giants will probably lose 7 out of 10 times.
Yeah. Well, that's what
The
Juckett said.
halt, the catch, you can't create that.
Yeah. That's what when I talked to Juckett about it, he's like, you should get the 2007 season. I says that still kind of stings on me. I said that's the one I wish I had back. I would have traded maybe that Rams Super Bowl for that one just to have the perfect season. But he says, if you were to play that, the Patriots should win every single time.
Yeah, I'll say 7, 8 times out of 10. Yeah.
So that's what he always said.
So Brian asked, Brian, I don't want to jump ahead. Yeah, go ahead. No,
so Zach says, it's allowed to mention not the big. It's whatever the heartbreak is. If you got he's got a Daytona 500 in 2007, so that was one that really stung for him, and that kind of stinks. I'm sorry to hear that, Michael. Good to see you, Michael. Even if folks, Jackie Smith's drop in Super Bowl 30. Is that the Dallas receiver in the end zone when he hit him right in the chest and it popped out and Staubach was yeah, that's the one they should have had. Tim comes by and Tim says, toughest loss as a Cubs fan, 84 NLCS Game 5, Cubs at Padres. Sutcliffe was cruising, and then the 7th inning walk, sack, ball goes through Durham's leg. You know the rest. So 84 was a tough year for him. I need to get back to that 84 replay, the co-op replay. I'm enjoying playing some of the games there, and now that I get the APA Master, maybe I'll play that in APA rather than.
I just did a Mets-Philly series. Mets won 2 out of 3.
I think I did one game with Strat Basic, actually, because that's what we were supposed to use. Or,
no, it's an in-game engine.
Yeah, now they've changed it to everything, which is great. And I think
you're right. When they first started, I think you're right.
Yeah.
I wasn't in it when they first started it, right?
And then I did some with Payoff Pitch, and then I think I did one with APA. So now with the APA Master, I might have to go back to that. Let's see. Mr. Field, 07 comes by. Thank you for coming by. 05 divisional, Bengals losing to the Steelers with what I thought was the only Super Bowl talent-worthy team he saw in his lifetime. Palmer goes down first drive.
Okay.
05 Bengals Steelers. Yeah, I like I said, I might get that 06 season. I'm not sure if I'm going to get that yet, but they got some good quarterbacks in there. And Palmer wasn't too bad. D13, my favorite NL team were the Cardinals, and my favorite AL team was the Angels. In 85, I had to watch the Cardinals lose due to Deccan's call. In 86, you had to watch Henderson. Yeah, tough times. Big Van Vader says also Game 6 NLCS 2003. There's a tough one for him. Maddie comes by and says, 2006 NLCS against the Cardinals.
Yeah, that hurt.
Beltran watching strike 3, bases loaded, 2 outs. Mets would have won the series that year. Barbara says she's having some problems with the sync. Let me know if anybody's having some issues with that. Because I know sometimes it kind of stink when it's out of sync. Maybe hit refresh. Maybe that'll help. Maybe it is us. I'm not sure. Hopefully it's not us here, but if it is, I don't know what I can do about that. Mr. Jet comes by. The Seals losing to early Islander teams, 8-1 and 10-1 at the Nassau Coliseum. Oh, yeah. So we are out of sync here. I'm not sure what I can do about that. Let me change the scene. All right. I don't know if changing the scene will help. P-Jet also says Seals losing to 74-75 Capitals in Oakland. That was the only road win. Yeah, I think I remember that one. Professor Kenny says the Joe Carter home run was a tough one for him. Pesky Paul, 88 World Series when the Reds beat the Red Sox. 88 World Series.
No, 88 was the Dodgers, I thought. Hold on.
Yeah, we said that was A's Dodgers.
And 89 was the Giants A's, I believe, right? The earthquake.
Yeah. I don't think 88 was
might
not
have been
Red.
87. It could have been 87. Could have been. I'm interested.
I don't know if I can fix the thing here on the chat. I'm sorry if we're out of sync. Yeah, I don't know what I can do to fix that.
So the Twins was 87.
Okay.
Twins Cardinals were 87.
And Sean says the Devils losing to the Rangers in Game 7.
Mattel.
Yeah.
Mattel.
PJ also says the Seals lost the first year. Canucks 11-5. Wow, that's a lot of goals there. Gus comes by, says wide right for Norwood, and the ball through Buckner's legs. Yep, those are tough ones for sure.
Those were happy ones for me.
Yeah, for you they were, absolutely. The Blue Monday was Game 5 loss, Expos to the Dodgers 81. Okay. I'm going to be picking that up for APA. And what I want to do with that, actually, Joe, is they have, I was looking on the baseball reference, and so they have the first half winners, the second half winners, and then the overall winners.
Because it was a strike year, right?
Yeah. I thought it'd be fun to take the overall winners, which were different than who went to the finals, and just play those out. I thought that'd be fun using the APA master. Give me time to practice on that, Oh, so Zach's a Panthers fan, and Casey sent his last kickoff out of bounds, and New England was basically in field goal range as soon as they got the ball. Okay, so that's why he was upset at that one. Did you see that kicker for Jacksonville hit the 68-yarder today?
68? No, I didn't see that.
At the end of the half? Wow. Yeah, I was kind of like flicking around tonight, just kind of chilling out. And so they got the ball, they threw it up near midfield, and they ran the call of timeout with like 4 seconds left in the half. And they lined up for a field goal. So I'm trying to like look, and okay, they're on their own half of the field. I'm like, how far back are they? Because you're at the 50, that's 60 yards. But he was like, they were snapping it from the 50. And I was like, this is like Tom Dempsey range,
And so that means they had to be at the 49. The 68-yard field goal.
Yeah, so they were kicking it from the 42.
42, right.
They weren't even over midfield.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. And
so it had to be the 48.
Well, 7 yards. So they're snapping from the 49.
17 yards you tack on. So if it was a 68-yard field goal, they had to be at the 49-yard line. Their own 49.
It's from where he kicks it, though.
No, but you tack 17. And that's how it becomes a 68-yard field goal.
Right. So if you're kicking on the 50-yard line, that's 60.
No, it's 67. Because it's
No,
7
no, if
yards.
you're kicking on the 50,
If you're kicking on the 50, yes, okay.
that's 60. So
I
you
see what
back
you're
it up
saying.
7 from there, so to the 43. So they'd be kicking from their own 43-yard line. Imagine that, 43-yard line. So you get the midfield now and you're in field goal range.
They're gonna
They
have
originally,
Papa, and they're all gonna have to fix all the charts for us.
well, for this season they are, yeah. Because I know in 1970 they put a note on the list that says Tom Dempsey is a special exception. You can kick up to a 63-yard field goal in his card, and if you get that one particular roll, the field goal's good. So,
Interesting.
yeah, so I did see that. Uh, so yeah, so I watched that today. And I was like, that's pretty cool. 68 yards, and they ended up winning the game. What a game it was! He kicked another one to get into overtime. And they were playing the Raiders, and they took the opening kickoff in overtime, went down, scored, and then the Raiders went right down and scored. But the Raiders went for 2 to try to win the game.
Gonna win the game.
And it was kind of neat. It came down to a 2-point conversion. They get it, they win. They don't, they lose. And he threw the ball, and the linebacker knocked it down. So the Jacksonville team won. But that 68-yard field goal, it's like, they moved the field goal post from the goal line to the back in
Right.
74. And they said they did that. Again, this is what I heard, is they said they did that because they were sick of teams kicking the field goals. They wanted more touchdowns, and they wanted, to expand the game like that with more offense and more touchdowns. So that's why they moved it back originally. They might have to move it back a little bit more.
So what did the teams do? They went out and got good kickers. They
Yeah, I
experts.
mean, you add 10 yards to a kick, and back in the day, that was pretty
That was big.
significant,
Right,
you
because they
know?
used to miss them. When I replay, 60s, 50s,
Oh, yeah.
even early 70s, they would miss field goals, from the
All, yeah.
like 15-yard field goals, like it was nothing.
Yeah, all the time. And what was wild though, if you ever see some of the old the clips from the games before they moved the goalpost, them kicking like extra points. They're
Yeah.
kicking from the 9, and they're only kicking at 9 yards. It's like it was a kick, and it's right there. It didn't have a chance to miss. So if you missed an extra point, you were pretty bad.
Yeah, you're bad.
It's just you just have to make sure that you kicked it high enough because the goalpost was right there. You didn't have any chance to get any altitude. you know. Oh man, too funny. Back here, Rick Monday hit the home run for the Dodgers to send the Dodgers to the World Series versus the Yanks.
Yeah.
Okay. And the Bills won today. Yep, they always beat Kansas City in the regular season. So, yeah, the Bruins lost to the Flyers in 73-74. Yeah, they had some tough times there. Every now and then I don't know if I want to play the Bruins Buffalo series. That would be kind of fun. Was that what the was that the Buffalo series, or was 74? No, 74-75 was the Flyers Buffalo
Flyers.
series.
Buffalo.
So 73-74 was that another Montreal thing? No, that was Boston Philly in the
Boston
finals.
Philly.
So they beat the Bruins and they beat the Sabres. Okay. Yeah, I remember that overtime goal. Yeah, and I remember, they scored in Boston, and I remember, Terry Riley going down the ground. He's like, all bummed out about it, and I was crying. So yeah, that was a tough loss, Joe, thanks for coming in, Joe. Oh yeah, I did that video today. I did a video on individual ODAI for Apple hockey today, and I just posted that right before I went on the show here. So
It's interesting. I played Apple hockey this morning.
yeah, so I did it, Joe. I don't know if you saw that video or not, but I was helping Joe out, with
Yeah,
the AI. So I posted a video trying to explain it today, Joe, too. So whatever we didn't cover on the
I use
on the
that
call there.
system. Yeah, I
Yeah.
use that.
I love it.
Yeah, me too. I think
it's
it's more realistic.
It is more realistic, and it's faster because no matter who's on the ice, when you use the team ODAI, you always have to add up everybody on the ice.
Readjusting.
Yeah,
Yep.
unless you do it in advance, but then if you do it in advance, you have to make sure those 5 guys are on the ice.
Right.
So
Right.
sometimes you'll leave the defense out and just change the forwards. Well, now the ODAI may change. It might not, but it may. And it all depends. If you want to keep adding up all 5 guys, I don't want to do that.
And I feel for realistic, say your left wing is going up the left side, okay? The player on defense all the way down the other side of he's going to have no defense against you. So I think it's better to go one-on-one because that left winger might be going against the right winger or the right defenseman.
Yeah.
With that,
Yeah.
I like that better.
I like that too. I mean, so if you roll the 6-sided die, you get 2 chances to go up against your opponent,
Right.
the guy who you're supposed to go up against.
Right.
But then everybody else has 1 chance out of 6 to make the play. So if you're the left wing, maybe you're going up against the center. Maybe you're going up against the right wing. Maybe it's the other left wing. So maybe you got the puck and you come across center and there was
Coming
a mix
across,
up.
right?
Someone's coming around. Maybe the center's trapped in the zone. The left wing's getting back. So, I mean, that all that stuff happens in hockey. So I love how you roll for the individual player. You figure out who it is, and then you look at their individual. So I mean, if you got a weak winger out there, and that's who you go up against, you'll get around him, you'll get the shot.
Right.
But if you got to go up against Larry Robinson, then you ain't getting the shot. Just ain't gonna happen. And so that's where I really think that the individual part comes in really nice. David says 86 football on his table right now. Falcons at Bucks. You know that they sold out of that, right? I've been on their website, kind of lurking, figuring out what seasons I want to get, coming up, and 86 out of stock already. So good for them that they're selling it, So I'm kind of hoping that they'll be back in stock because that is one I'm looking at. But I have 84 and 85, so I don't know if I need an 86. I'm looking at either 89 or 98 or 06.
I don't know if you saw Brian fired back at me.
Oh, not yet. No.
Okay.
I'm still. I'm behind on my.
You're catching up.
Chat. Colts Steelers 95. Bailey has a roll off his chest last play in the helmet. Oh, I was just watching some of that. I think I was watching some of that on the highlights about the toughest losses. He created the Cubs and Pirates 84 for himself in the how-to guide, and it made it hurt a little bit less.
Come on, Brian, come out with the season again.
Yeah, we hope Cutter's okay. That was a tough loss, but what a game though. What a game. JAA comes by. Go Gators, Florida fan. There you go. He goes, I don't mind a loss. It's the ones that are so lopsided. But when Florida lost to Ole Miss with Tebow's QB, that's my hardest loss. So
yeah, that was a tough one. But he turned it around. That turned it around for them.
Yeah. Oh, he was talking about the Checkered World Series replay. Okay. I didn't get that.
Okay.
I didn't get that, I didn't get that. Gary comes by. Good to see you, Gary. Late to the party, but Aaron Bleepin Boone. I had just broken my nose, moved to a new apartment in Queens, set up my TV to watch it. Insult to injury. Yeah.
Boone.
Yeah, wide right was a little brutal. It really was. I actually felt bad for the Bills. Like I said, you couldn't hate on Kelly. Jim Kelly.
Oh no,
not at all. Now, being a New England fan, obviously, I didn't want anybody in the division to win the Super Bowl. I wanted, in fact, I don't know if you're that way, Joe, at all, but when your team got knocked out, I'd always root for like the other conference or something to win.
Probably not all the time, but probably most of the time.
I was when I was going through some of the season. I think '89. That's the season that San Francisco destroyed Denver, right? 55-10 or something like that. And I was like, I remember watching it good, because Denver was in the American Conference, and I didn't want them to win. I wanted them to lose, because they come out of the American. So I've just always liked it. But by the third or fourth Super Bowl, I kind of was pulling for Buffalo. I really was.
4 Super Bowls in a row.
And
they lost 4, and they'll never be remembered for that. They'll be remembered for losing. How great do you got to be to go to 4 Super Bowls in a row?
Yeah, that's a dynasty right there.
You're not kidding.
You run into problems, Professor Kenny coming by. He goes, Joe Carter home run was not a problem for me. I just mentioned Carter because someone mentioned the 93 World Series loss was brutal for them. Buccaneers lost to the Rams in the 99 championship was brutal. That was the Burt Emanuel catch, no catch. Final score 11-6. Boy, the Buccaneers tend to play in some low-scoring NFC championship games. They had that 9-0 loss to the Rams. That one kind of bothered me as a kid. I was obviously, I'm a huge Buccaneer fan, and especially with those creamsicles, and they was so bad for so long, and all of a sudden they were in a bad division one year. They lost their last 3 or 4 games and still made the playoffs somehow. I think they won 3-0 over Kansas City in a monsoon game full of fumbles. That put them into the playoffs in the last week of the season. They ended up somehow playing the wild card Eagles because they had won the division. They played a wild card, and they actually beat the Eagles. And then when the Rams beat Dallas in Dallas, which was like a shocker. The Rams came to Tampa Bay. I'm like, oh man, I'm glad Tampa Bay is not going to Dallas, but the Rams beat them 9-0. I remember that game. I watched that whole game. Never moved. That's how. But yeah, that was a bummer for me. David says he wants to raise the crossbar. I'm wondering if they're going to do something like that for the field goals. Just probably not.
Oh, I
You
thought
know?
he was talking hockey. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. That's actually on the way. Actually, payoff pitch is on the way. So I'm hoping to get that.
I think he came out with the PDF.
Yeah, but I
yesterday.
bought the
He
printed
announced.
stuff. I bought the
I
printed.
know they
too.
sold out, but I think he was able
Oh,
to
they
get the
did sell out
PDF
of that.
back out.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm glad I get in early on that then.
No, they're back, I think, but
Okay. And John says I was at the 92 World Series Game 6 when the Braves lost to the Blue Jays. Truly heartbreaking experience, but good memories too. So 92. Okay, I need to go back because I'm rusty on my baseball
Blue
here.
Jays had some good teams in those early
So
90s.
92. So that was Atlanta, Toronto. Oh, Toronto won that one too.
Yeah. They had some good teams in the early 90s.
So I wonder if it says how. Oh, yeah, they've won 2 World Series.
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah, so I don't feel bad for them. They've won some World Series. It's not like they haven't won World Series, right?
No, like I said to you earlier, the guy I feel bad for is Don Mattingly. No matter where he goes, it's the Mattingly curse.
Yeah. Had the tying runner on third with 2 outs in the ninth. Yeah, that's always a killer when they tease you like that, So I'll get a couple more. Otis Nix had bunted and was thrown out
Otis
at
Nix.
first. Okay. All right. Well, Joe, why don't we talk a little bit about some of our heartbreaks? So I'll let you lead. I'll let you lead off.
So my biggest heartbreak, I was 11 years old. I just
Okay.
I'll let my age out. I was 11 years old, and the Mets losing Game 7 to the A's. I'll never forget. I ran home and cried.
Now, when was that now?
1973.
73.
They lost. They went 7 games with that. That was with the Dynasty A's team. They won in 72, and the Mets went 7 games with them, and they lost in the 7th game. It broke my heart. I've replayed it and just can't beat those A's with Stratomatic, with you name it. But that really broke my heart. So on a broken heart, on a pocket that broke my pocket was 1985 when the New England and the Bears, and I was in a pool. I never forget, and
Really?
was ready to win. I was partners in a pool. It was a big pool. One partners was ready to win some big money at that right before the half if it stayed the same, and he decides to pass and he throws a pick six. Cost me. I lost $10,000 in that pool.
Ooh.
Yep. It was a big pool. We went partners, a bunch of guys in it. So my share would have been $10 to a pick six. I couldn't stand them after that.
Wow.
But
Wow.
and for reality, 73. 73 just broke my heart as a kid.
Really?
Yeah.
The 85 Super Bowl loss to the Bears, as much as a bummer as it was, it really wasn't that big of a deal. Because we were the wild card team. We won 3 on the road. We were riding high, and then we just got smacked back to reality with that Super Bowl, and we got crushed. And it wasn't really heartbreaking because we weren't supposed to be there at all. We won Miami on the road, Oakland on the road. We beat the Jets on the road, and we were just happy to be there.
They weren't supposed to be there. Right?
Yeah, the Bears were just such a good team that year. Some of those Bruins losses to Edmonton were tough because, of course, we have to play Edmonton. We couldn't play like the Calgary Flames or the Vancouver Canucks or the Minnesota North Stars. We got to play Wayne Gretzky twice in a row, well, once and then Messier. So some of those Stanley Cups were bummers for me as a young adult, I would say, because I think I was out of high school at that point. But they weren't crushing. For me, the crushing one, it was the 73-74 Bruins Flyers. That might have been close. because I think Orr was still playing, and I was just kind of just coming of age, and I remember the Bruins losing. I was kind of bummed, and I remember the Flyers skating around with the cup, and I was really bummed. But I think it was the 78, 79 too many men on the ice,
Mm.
because we could never beat Montreal. They always beat us up. We were always second fiddle, but we were always there. And that one time that they kept scoring and Middleton scored to put them up late, I'm like, man, we're gonna do it. We could finally beat Montreal in the series, because I think it was game 7. And the Rangers had gone on to advance to the finals. And I'm like, the Rangers are terrible. I was like, the Bruins will destroy the Rangers and we'll finally win a cup here, in my young adult, or won it, well, a little before me, before I was able to realize it. But I says I was, well aware, 10, 11 years old when this was going on. And I remember, and then they got the too many men call, and then the shot from the blue line went in, and then they won in overtime. And that was a tough one. That's the toughest one, because we were so close to having that, and I believe in all my heart they would have beat the Rangers in the finals. I just think they would have. I just think the Rangers were just kind of like a lucky wild card team to get in. That's the crushing one for me. It really
Okay.
was. I don't remember crying about it, because it just always happened. It just, the
Yeah.
Bruins always lost to Montreal. They always lost 4 to
Mhm.
3, no matter what it was. They lost 4 to 3 to
Like the
Montreal.
Rangers losing to the Islanders all the time, yeah. Right,
And
you just
and
expect it.
yeah, so it wasn't a
Wasn't
big,
crushed.
it wasn't a shocker. It was like we were so close, but so I can imagine that's how the Blue Jays fans felt, because LA's the favorite. They should have won it all, but you take them to 7 games, you almost win it on that last play, and then you get your heart broken at the end, and the better team just wins, and that's kind of a bummer. The 2007 Super Bowl, that was tough. I mean, it was a great season, 16-0 and all the way, but if they had finished that one off, that would have been nice too. But I didn't even watch that game, to tell you the truth. I
It's
turned it on, and immediately I could just see that the Patriots were off. And they
it's
only scored 14
it's
points that game?
it still bothers Brady.
Oh,
He's
yeah, I imagine it
he
would.
said it haunts him till this day,
Oh, yeah,
losing that Super
on
Bowl.
the rest of his life, and there's a lot a
Yeah.
lot of us fans
With
that
all the
haunt too.
Super Bowl rings he's got, and that one still haunts him
Yep.
with that loss.
Yep. The only good thing is that, like I say, he's got 7 of them,
Yeah.
6 in New England. So, I mean, we really can't complain.
No.
Yeah. Here in New England, but I mean, that's the one that kind of hurts, because that's the one that people always bring up, and it's a little stinger. It's
And
just
2
like,
times. 2 times.
well, that the
Yeah.
17-0 season,
Well,
that was
that was yeah.
that was a tough one. Yeah.
17-0 and one big giant loss.
Yep. Yep.
One big giant loss.
Yep. Giants beat them twice. You got to give them credit. Good for the
Yeah.
Giants there. But I mean, at least we have 6 Super Bowls to
No,
fall back
yes.
on. It's not like we got there, we didn't win it, and it's like, oh man, it was so close. So
No,
I think that's
exactly.
why we didn't take it so hard, because
Mhm.
at that point they already had 3 Super Bowls in 5 or 6 years. So yeah. Let's see here, back in the chat room here. And Zach says, I forget what the numbers would have been, but my dad lost big money in his workplace Squares game because of the Leon Lett
Leon
fumble.
Lett.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah. Yeah.
Leon Lett.
Yeah. Gus says that's rough. Yep. Yep. And
Yeah,
still
that was
mad at
rough.
him. Yep. Yep. Let's see. And Sports Time Machine
No.
comes by, says, have you beaten the A's in 73 in
No.
Strat? No, he
Can't
says.
beat them.
No.
I don't cry when I don't beat them in Strat, but I did then, but I can't beat them.
Yeah. Professor Kenny. He's had success with the Mets over the A's in payoff pitch. Oh,
Ah.
maybe that's what you need to do.
Yeah, I may have to buy the season.
It says the fact that the game starts off, the pitcher is a major factor. Big problem with that series was Seaver starting
Seaver
the game.
started, yeah, he did on 3 days rest.
Yeah. Yep. And John says he cried after 91 World Series and 93 NLCS. Arnold comes by. Good to see you. Mets lost to the Dodgers in
Yes,
88.
that's
Yeah,
correct.
that's the one there. Yep.
That hurt.
Mr. AP comes by. Good to see you, Mr. AP. Comes by. 79 World Series. I lost some money when the Orioles choked. Cost me a couple of packs of tops.
Tops. And hey, there could have 79. There could have been a good rookie card in there.
Yeah. I have the 79 payoff pitch cards coming in. I when I first started playing payoff pitch, I was buying all the PDFs because they were inexpensive, and then on sale they were even cheaper. And so I printed out 79, like the whole set, and it took me like all week to print them out and
Yeah,
cut them and corner them, and
because it gives you every player.
yeah, and I think the ones that I got there weren't even color coded, so
Okay.
I created shades
Oh, wow.
on the cards. Like was it the yellow and the green and the blue, and I would just slide those shades in on a different layer in Photoshop to the PDF to make them come out. And they
Wow.
come out, and I even put the team logos in there too. So I spent a lot of time on 79. I did everybody, every team. They come out fantastic, but
I
they're
have
still not as good as the actual payoff
I
pitch
have the
guys.
79 set Napa. I have
Yeah, I get that one too. Yeah,
Yeah, I got
I,
the
I
79
love
set
that.
Napa, and I have the 70s Diamond Gems, which includes the 79 Pirates in Stratomatic. But I just love. I don't know if you remember, Vinny mentioned it. He knew a couple of chats ago he was on. I love playing with those 79 Pirates.
Yeah, they're fun. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I ordered 75 and 79 so I can replace my set of 79 with
Oh, okay.
the stock 79. So I bought those twice. Well, one PDF, one regular, because I
Seven,
just like the payoff pitch card so much. It's like, if I'm gonna get, I'm gonna have those here. And
yeah.
I did a 79 replay, Calico replay. I think Juckett calls that. And Micah was asking about that too, Micah Wimmer, and he was talking about have you played different games in a replay? And I played 6 or 7 or 8 different baseball games in my 79 replay. It was kind of fun. Everything I had 79 I played. Payoff pitch and strat and app. I think it was strat and appa, back to basics baseball, pocket pennant run. I mean, anything I had for 79. I don't know if I had strat, but anything I had for 79 I played. And it was just a good time. Just kind of playing, practicing different games is what I was doing at the
You
time.
bought 75, you said too, right? In payoff pitch.
Yes, yeah, because that's the
Yeah,
new one.
that's
Yeah.
that was Crazy Red Machine, right?
Yeah,
Seven.
yeah,
They were crazy
yeah,
team that year.
yeah. Yep. Mike in the truck comes by, and Mike in the truck says
Big
94 and oh
Mike.
01 Steelers losing the AFC Championship. Yep. Yeah, that was a tough one against the Patriots. Patriots come in and just played really
Hmm.
well that day. Um, Great win by the Rangers last night. Yep. And James comes by. Hi, Dave, Joe, and the chat. The 80 Browns Raiders playoffs. Yeah, Mike Davis picks off Sipe.
Hmm.
Browns were in field goal range to win. Yep. I just got 1980. It's sitting over here on my shoulder. I bought it from Kenny, and so it arrived. I haven't put them away yet. But I have them over here. So I will be playing some 80 football. So I have a lot of my favorite 80s, favorite seasons for football right now for Apple. So I'm pretty happy with that. Um, I
I
was,
like the 84. I
do we,
don't know. Marino. Yeah, it's
yeah,
Marino. I'm a Marino fan.
yeah,
So I like that 84 season.
yeah. You ever go on to YouTube and watch some of the this week in pro football there? And so I've
Oh,
been watching.
the old ones,
Oh, they were
yes.
great. Yeah, so I've been
Oh,
watching because I got the 80 season now. So I go back and now it's like, 1980, week 8, and they recap all the games. In Cleveland, the Houston Oilers came to town to revenge an early season loss to the Browns.
NFL Films.
Yep. Brian
Team.
Sipe led things off with a 4-yard touchdown run to Ernest Bynum or whatever it was. It's just great. You get like a minute or two of each game, and they show the highlights.
Yes, there's stuff in all the things NFL Films.
So
I
good.
can't think of his name. The guy who ran it is they announced his name.
Sable?
And yes, yes, he never had a contract with the NFL. I've been told he never. It was all on a handshake all those years.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know how true it is, but somebody that I
The guy that
knew.
did the voice of the company.
No, the company, the guy
Yes,
that
it was a
did the NFL
Steve
Films,
Sable.
Steve Sable.
Yeah,
I
and
know
his son or
somebody
his
who was
dad.
pretty
Yeah.
involved. I don't know how true it is, but I
J-
was told that.
Well,
Yeah.
here's what I heard is that they paid, I don't know if it was 2,000 or $10,000 or something like that. It wasn't crazy money, but it might have been back in the day.
Hmm.
And I forget if it was in the 60s or the 70s they did this. And they paid the NFL to do a one weekly show. And they said, let us film all the games, use all this stuff, and do that recap show. And so they strung out their own money with no guarantee
No
from the
guarantee.
NFL, and they did it, and the NFL absolutely loved it. And I don't know if the NFL bought them or bought the rights or whatever it was, but yeah, they went out on a limb and said, "Let me show you this thing," and they did it. The NFL loved it and says, "You got it." So I don't know if there was a contract
So that might be
or
right. Oh, yeah.
maybe they. I thought that said that they bought NFL Films, just
Okay.
bought them and said, "Go ahead and do it now," under the
Okay.
NFL
That could
name.
be right.
So maybe there wasn't a contract, but they just loved it so much they said, "Do it." No, at least that's
Yeah,
what I
and
heard.
speaking of that, you know what I miss? I don't know if you remember this. So on Super Bowl Sunday, they don't do it anymore. I think it was ESPN from 6 in the morning. They would play a half hour of every Super Bowl from Super Bowl one up until Super Bowl time, and it was all NFL
Oh,
films.
really?
Yes, and they stopped doing it a couple of years ago. But that was NFL films, all NFL films.
Oh, was it nice? Yeah. It's just watching those is just great. Just how they
Yeah,
the little music
the
they got
music
playing
and
there, and the things they got, and how they they have the close ups and the far angles, and just they just find things to talk about. Oh yeah, then the kickoff there. You see the kickoff in the beginning,
yeah,
but it's just kind of great, because in the beginning, this early '70s, you had Pat Summerall and Tom Brookshire, and it was really stiff. And they're like,
yeah.
"Well, what do you think, Tom?" "Well, I think the Cardinals are leading the NFC East." "I would have to agree." It was like so stiff, and it was just like these guys in suits. It was so tight. And
And then you
then
had Summerall and Madden who really complimented each other.
yeah, in the booth, yeah,
Yes,
yeah. But
yes,
they got away from the studio stuff after. I
yes.
forget when it was. It must have been mid '70s, something like that. And then it was just all the highlights. Because instead of like Brookshire and Summerall being like, well, Green Bay had a great win over Detroit this week. Let's take a look at those highlights. And then it got rid of them, which they were fine, but then it went right into the narration of the films.
Yeah, right, right.
In Minnesota, they were trying to thaw off the field with those flamethrowers as the Cowboys came to town. Roger Staubach, and it
Yeah,
just the way
some of the
they did it.
narrative was really
Oh, it was
good.
so good, yeah. And then they changed announcers when they got into the early '80s, and I watched some of those too. Those are still pretty good, but I just so now what I do, like when I look to get a season, or if I have a season, I go what I watch, and it's like, would
Mhm.
I want to play one of these games? Show highlights of something. Did anything catch my eye? Because that's how I get my inspiration to play some games. It's like, oh, that
Well,
looks like a
that's a
fun
good
game to
idea.
play.
That's, yeah, that's pretty
Sometimes
noble. I
something will
like that.
happen. You get a run, or or a pass, or a field goal, or something will happen in the game. It's like, oh, that was
Mhm.
kind of interesting. Let me play that game. That looks like a fun game to throw on the table. So, but I do like to look at that and watch those shows all the time. AP says the Knicks losing Game 7 against Houston in the
Yeah.
'94 finals. Well, you guys would know more about that, being the New York people.
The Rangers won the cup and the Knicks were Rangers won the cup that year and the Knicks were right in the finals.
Yeah. NFL, remember that was so good. NFL films are so good.
Yeah.
I mean, I still watch them. I have NFL films, Super Bowls 21 to 30.
Oh, wow.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, Tony. Harry Callis was the other announcer. Yeah, there was a couple different guys. Um there was one in the mid to late '70s, and there was one that took over in the '80s, and I forget who it was. But there was a couple different guys. They both were pretty good. They both were pretty good. Ewing not getting a title saddens you as well. Yep. I wonder if I could look that up. NFL
That's what I was
Films
going to look now.
voices. Um, so, oh, John Facenda.
Yep.
That's the other one. And Harry Callis took over for him. Yeah. Okay. So if that's what I'm reading here.
John
Yeah.
Facenda. Yep.
John Facenda. He was really good too. And I forget when Karras took over.
Alex Karras. That's another name from the past.
Oh yeah, yeah.
He was tough.
Yeah, it says the years, but I don't want to tie up you guys looking for that there. The last NFL films with John Facenda was Super Bowl where the Raiders beat Washington. So what was that? 80?
Raiders beating Washington.
Raiders
Got a
Washington.
blank on that. I'm gonna look that up. I'm
Uh,
drawing a blank on that.
yeah. Raiders, Eagles, Raiders, Washington. I know Raiders, Buccaneers. I don't remember the Raiders. Raiders,
Oh,
Minnesota.
no, Super Bowl, yeah, 18, 38-9. Raiders 38 points scored with 21, yeah. They brought Super Bowl, yeah,
What
Super
year?
Bowl.
What year was that?
So, yeah, Super Bowl 1984.
That's San Fran. Oh, 83, 84. Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
Raiders. Oh, Raiders. Why? I didn't know they won in
that,
83. Huh.
yeah. That one, I drew a blank on that one.
Yeah, yeah. That's between Washington, Miami, and San
Right?
Francisco, Miami. Oh, Miami lost a couple. Oh, Miami never won with Marino, did they?
No, no, no.
Ooh,
That's always sad in me being a big Marino
yeah,
fan.
yeah. So,
He
so
just
that so
when he had
80.
his receivers, he had no defense. When he had defense, he had no
Yeah,
eyes.
yeah, yeah. John Facenda was the original announcer. Yep, and then like Mike said, yeah, he stopped so he did get to the early 80s, and then the other guy took over. So that was pretty good. Yeah, 84. That was the first Super Bowl I remember was that one, says John. Michael says it was a 62 NFL championship game that Ed bought the rights to the film. Okay, so what it was? So I'm not too far off with that he
Okay.
he bought the rights to use this stuff, made his video, and then they said they really liked it. But yeah, watching those ones on the the 70, 71, 72 with Brookshire and Summerall. They got their 70s suits on,
No. Oh,
they had the helmets hanging from the ceiling, and they were all the old 70s helmets, and they just in the studio, and it was so stiff. That's all. The stiff is just the only word I could use to describe that.
yeah.
Yeah.
If you ever want to watch something interesting, when you said the suits and all that, Kiner's Corner. You ever heard of Kiner's Corner? So Ralph Kiner, when he was announcer for the Mets, he was so till he passed away in the '70s. After the game, they would have a show called Kiner's Corner.
Okay.
And whoever the star of the game, if they were playing the Braves and Hank Aaron hit the home run, he was on there. But some of the future Hall of Famers that they had on there, like tremendous. When you look back now, but so dated. What you said about the suits, the striped jackets with
Oh
this. Oh
yeah.
my goodness.
Yeah, it's kind of like if you remember like a late 60s newscast. That's the kind of feel it had. It
That's
just,
Kiner's Corner.
it was so, it's like, well, what do you think about Dallas? Well, I think they're going to win in the NFC East. Well, I do too. It was just so stiff. And nowadays there's a little more, flavor and stuff to it,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
but it was just, two uptight people sitting there just doing their best. But I mean, that's what it was. We had a good time
It
with that.
serves its time.
It
It
did.
served its
It's
purpose at
very
the
dated,
time.
but at the time it was
Yeah.
very good. Facenda's last NFL film was the highlight reel for Super Bowl
Oh,
18
that
with the Raiders.
Raiders,
Oh, it was the
Washington.
Los Angeles Raiders. Okay, maybe that's why I wasn't putting two to two together. I'm thinking Oakland. That was the Marcus Allen reversed the
A
field 74
74-yard
touchdown
touchdown.
run. Okay. PJ, we used to call it kindness
Kiner's
cone.
Corner.
That's great. The pesky pole, 83 season, 84 Super Bowl, Raiders over Skins. Okay. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I know. I wasn't sure about that. Harry Callis was the voice of the Phillies, not to be confused with Alex Karras. Okay. John watched Kindness Corner in the 80s. Yeah. And PJ, Lindsey Nelson was famous for his
Yes,
gaudy
yes,
checkered
he's
suits.
spot on, PJ. He was.
Yeah, and Raymond comes by. Good to see you, Raymond.
Don
Don
Cherry's.
Cherry's, yeah, we
True.
love Cherry, yeah. Oh, I saw some of your emails, Raymond, by the way, too. So I got probably like 50 emails sitting in my inbox that I'll probably sit down tomorrow with maybe and just kind of see where we are and just kind of cutting and pasting some things and seeing who gets back to us, because a lot of people haven't got back to us yet. So between you and Joe, yeah, we got a ton of stuff. So I think you guys have probably covered my list, right? So I imagine I wouldn't have to follow up with too many people off that list if you guys, because I don't want to contact them twice. So I think
Yeah,
you
I
guys,
gave Raymond who I covered from the list and then who I covered on my own
okay.
outside the list, so he knows what wasn't covered on the
Okay,
list.
good. Yeah. Yeah. Raymond, did you reach out to John from Shootout? I wonder if he'd want to do anything
I
this year.
actually reached out to
Oh,
him.
you did? Okay. How about
Yeah.
Mike from Solitaire Pro Football?
No, that no.
No? Maybe I can reach out to him
Yeah,
because
that I did.
I talk to him all the time. Um, okay, so most are contacted. Okay, that's fine
How
as
did
long as
Ray
they know.
come here? We didn't mention his name, and he popped in.
Yeah, yeah. We either mentioned him or what? Well, oh, of course. Well, of course, someone talked about soccer, and then this
Oh, there
guy
you go,
shows up. The
Marco.
the double doink. Did you see that guy we talked about? Sir, the guy that hit Jacksonville 68-yard field goal set the record, and he hit it. And it was like, did he really hit that? Was that a highlight? Was that live? And they're like, that's a new record. The announcers were so like humdrum about it. It should have been, that's a new record. Unbelievable. It was nothing. It was just like, yeah, okay, we're going to the
I,
half.
I don't know where they get some of these guys from. To some of these announcers, I really don't.
The worst one. I don't know if he's still there, but I used to I put on NFL radio on
Hmm.
the satellite, and when I take my walks or if I go to the gym or sometimes just kind of chilling out, I like to listen rather than watch. And the Cincinnati Bengals are the worst. I don't know if they still have the same two guys, but it was like, all right. He goes, and the Bengals line up for the field goal. Snap is on, the kick is up, and then the color goes, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. It's just like, it's like two people just screaming and yelling. It's like, and it's good. Yeah, it's good. Yeah, it's good. And it's just like, oh my gosh, it hurt your ears so bad listening to these guys because, the guy doing the color is just like, yeah, go get him, go get him, go get him. And he's like all distorted and screaming and yelling. It's like, you can't even hear the guy call the play. It's like, hands off to the right side. He gains 5. Go, baby, go, baby, go. It's just like, I can't stand you guys. I can't stand it when they have, let's go to Cincinnati now. And they put those two guys on. I was like, oh, man, it's just going to be one guy trying to call the play and then one guy cheerleading with the pom poms. Oh my gosh, it was so bad. Nick Foles magic on the double doink. Yeah, there was a quadruple doink done by a field goal kicker from Rice. Hit the upright crosser. Yep. I had a double. No joke. This is all seriousness. When we were younger, like right out of high school or something like that, early 20s, whatever it was. Probably like 18. Me and my buddy used to get on the high school field, bring a football, we kick field goals, just kick them off a tee, right? I couldn't kick very far at all. I was just couldn't do it. Just had no leg. But I enjoyed kicking. So we just kicked field goals, right? And I remember one time I set it up on the 20 on the tee. So it'd been 30-yard field goal, right? I could never make anything. I could hit 27, 28. 30 was too far for me, just because, my weak leg, as a kid. And I remember I kicked it off the tee from the 20. It went up. It hit the crossbar, went up in the air, hit the crossbar again, and rolled over. So I was like, well, that's my limit. 30 yards, not 30 yards and 1 inch, 30 yards. And I was so excited that it went through it from 30 yards. I was like, that was so cool. But yeah, that I had a double doink myself and it went in. It actually went in. So, and Nick Foles is a curse word in your house. Now, who was Nick Foles? What was he from now? What team was he now? What was Nick Foles? I know the name. I think he's a quarterback, right? So he must have beat the Bears, or was he on the Bears? Someone's gonna have to help me out with that because I don't really remember.
I don't either.
But I know the name. I know the name. Oh,
Eagles.
Eagles. Eagles. Okay.
Marco won't forget.
So, while we have Raymond and Marco here, well, the theme of the day, well, the talk is what is your worst loss? What's the worst loss in your memory? So we want to know what it is. Joe already said ours, and some people in the chat room said theirs. There were some heartbreakers. It's funny the range of the dates and the different sports that we're seeing
Sports,
in the
yeah.
chat room. Yeah, so I guess we have a very the crowd is very spread out. The chat room's very spread out to where they live and what their favorite teams are. So what was the double? What? Give me a little bit more details on that. I'm trying to remember what that was. And what happened on that? So did the ball go through or did the ball not go through? So I'm taking it's a field goal attempt. That happened. Oh, he was a kicker, right? Nick Foles is a kicker. Is that what it was? So, and PJet said he had a high school level Football League, and they had a guy who kicked a 56-yard field goal, former college kicker. Yeah, I would think that. Yeah.
And it's on what PJ said, when I coached semi-pro football, we had a guy, I think it was my second year, we had a practice. Guy walked on and he said, I'd like to try out for the team. I said, what do you do? He says, I kick. I says, okay, where'd you play? He just came walking onto the field. So where'd you kick? He goes, I played soccer. So the head coach says to me, get this guy out of here. I said, coach, what do we got to lose?
Yeah.
This guy was unbelievable. And he kicked a 57-yard field goal in the playoffs for us.
Oh wow,
57-yard field goal. He
that's
was
a
he
long
was
way.
he was a soccer player.
Good for him.
We used to try to tell him, go to Canada, go try out, in the CFL.
Yeah.
But he didn't want to.
Yeah. So I was looking at my seasons. If I'm looking between 89 and 98, and maybe 2006 to get my next Apple football season, and I stumbled on Doug Williams. And I looked, and he played with Tampa for many years, and that's how I remember him. But then he did go to Washington, but there was a big gap. There was like a 3-year gap in his Pro Football Reference page, and I think he went to the USFL, didn't he? Didn't he go USFL?
Yes, I think he did.
I think
that had to be like somewhere between 83 and 86.
Yes, exactly right. Yes. Then he came back. When he came back, he went to Washington.
Then he came back to Washington. Yes.
I don't remember what team he played on in that league there. But all right, so Raymond says too many Stanley Cup finals to list. Yeah, I would agree. You lost a lot of those. As a Hurricanes fan, too many heartbreaks, but we were irreverent for so long. So 10 years without a playoff game. Yeah, so I imagine, any kind of playoffs at all would be pretty good. The Bears-Eagles 2018 wildcard round. Bears got the ball into range with no time left. Cody Parkey bangs a field goal off of both goalposts for the loss. For the loss. Oh. Bears most likely going to win the Super Bowl, since the next two teams that would have played they destroyed early in the season. I was looking at the 06 season there, and that's the season that Indianapolis beat the Bears. So I'm not sure which one I'm leaning to. 89 looks fun. 98 I'm not a big fan of, but it's got some Bledsoe years, and I enjoy playing Bledsoe. And a few other quarterbacks there, but 2006 might be fun because I think let me go here. There was 2006 was good because it's, for me, that's a modern season, and I know that's 19 years ago, but for me that's a modern season. So if I look at the quarterback, that's the way I always start with. So you got Favre, Peyton, Drew Brees, Eli, Carlson Palmer, of course Brady, Pennington, Rex Grossman, Roethlisberger. I could have some good games, with Brady, Manning, and Roethlisberger. That's for sure. Phillip Rivers as well. Michael Vick with Atlanta. Say what you will about that guy, but he's a good quarterback. Tony Romo with Dallas. So there's some 06 is pretty good. McNabb with Philadelphia. So there's some good ones there. Some I don't know. Bruce Gradowski with Tampa Bay. I don't know him.
Well, Damian Tomlinson, I think, had a good year in 06.
Yeah, Mark Brunell was there. So there's some good quarterbacks in 06, and the Bears played pretty well. If I look at running, where's my running here? Rushing TDs, rushing yards. So LaDainian Tomlinson.
Yeah.
Good.
I think he had
Steve Jackson,
big year that year.
Edgar and James, Tiki Barber, Jamal Lewis, Frank Gore, Chester Taylor, Warwick Dunn, and there's a few decent guys. Deuce McAllister, Brian Westbrook. Not as many as I thought, but usually I know the quarterbacks, the running backs, and the kickers. But I wonder if they have that updated here on the Pro Football site to update that field goal today. That was pretty cool, Brian says, fictional seeing starback Mo John Tanner get injured the first half of a game, and the New York Nukes needs to make his Fury football playoffs. Yeah, that's kind of fun. Mo John Tanner, that's great. That's why I play.
Such a fun game.
To get his team, he was trying to get his Flyers a cup here, something beyond the first two in the 70s. There are a few bad Cubs won '04 Western Conference Final and the Blackhawks Game 7. Well, you got 2 goals against the Bruins in Game 6. I don't want to hear about the Blackhawks. I don't want to hear about the Blackhawks. Oh, you're playing season ticket right now with '06. Well,
Okay.
for the Bears, yeah, that'd be pretty good. '06 had the great Chargers team with Tomlinson setting
Yeah,
TD
yeah,
records.
Mike and
Oh,
the
that would
Chuck,
be
yeah.
fun.
So I said New Tomlinson had it around then.
Should get a Bledsoe season when he played for the Bills. I don't know if they're available when he played.
Well,
For
if anybody has it, it's season ticket because he's got,
Oh
I
yeah,
think, every
yeah.
season.
So that would be 2002 to 2004. With '06, he played with Dallas. I don't know if he's carded, but that would be kind of fun to get him. I wanted to get '04. They don't have '04, but that would be a Patriots
06,
Super
yeah,
Bowl
06.
season.
That's when Parcells brought him over to Dallas, right?
Yeah, and he was still in Buffalo in '04. So, and he played 3 years. He played every game. I was looking at when I looked at '98, he played 14 games and then he didn't play in the playoffs. So I think he must have got hurt, is what I'm thinking, because I think it was Zolak was in there and they lost the playoff game with Zolak. So imagine that getting hurt late in the season. But I like, when I see the quarterbacks on different teams like that, it's kind of fun. David has the '06 on his kitchen table right now. Apple Football, Manning and Breeze are the QB5s. Oh yeah, I can
Yeah.
imagine that. Yeah. What was that game I played the other day on the table? I played Apple Football, and one of the teams was -9 on the defense. I forget who did I play. Was that the 1970 game that I played?
-9. Ooh.
And the other team was like a +6 or +7 on the defense. Oh man, who was that I played the other day in my channel that the team was -9?
Was that the Jets game you played?
It might have been.
It might have been the Jets game you played.
I don't know if it was that 1970 game that I played. I'm trying to think who I even played in that. Now I got to go take a look because it's bugging me. I did Giants Patriots. Maybe
Oh, okay.
was in 1970. That was
No.
Tarkenton. So
Oh,
maybe
yes.
that might have been it. And then I did Jets New England '94. So that could have been it too. It might have been one of those that they were. No, I want to say I think it was the '70 Giants Patriots game that I did, because the team on my right was the -9. So that was the Patriots defense was -9.
Wow.
So so that was pretty bad. I don't think that's up there near the worst. It's not the worst, but it's up there near the worst. So yeah, QB5s. Bears defense was great. 7 different teams could have won the AFC. The '06 Bears team translate very weird on the tabletop. The defense won several games with pick sixes. And Devin has his punt return TDs. It probably would be hard to replicate that, I imagine. Patrick comes by. Good to see you, Patrick. We want to know what your tough loss, your sports memory loss is. Let us know. We're kind of lamenting here tonight. This kind of piggyback really on the World Series last night and how tough it was for Toronto fans. So, and again, as someone who didn't have a dog in the fight, it was just easy to kind of watch that. 2004, Dallas had Testaverde as quarterback. Well, let me find out. So Dallas Cowboys in '06, it was Romo Bledsoe. In '05, it was Bledsoe,
It might be right.
just Bledsoe. And then in '04, it was Testaverde at 41 years old.
No.
They had this guy named Drew Henson. And that was it. So Testaverde started 15 games. Drew Henson did the one, but 41-year-old Vinny Testaverde. That's 2004. That's why I really would like to get that season. That's one I'm looking at. Not so much '06, but '04. Mr. Corey comes by.
Oh,
Thanks for
Corey.
coming by. And I was talking about Houston and Seattle '77. I'm not sure what she was talking about there. Oh, it was the 1970 Pats that went -9. Yeah, okay. And Mr. Dwayne comes by. And Dwayne, I am just loving this Apple Master Baseball. I know I keep talking about it, but It is so fun. I'm gonna probably pick up another season of baseball because I don't have that many baseball seasons, so I can get some on the table here. It's just I thought it when I went back to it, it'd be really difficult, and it's kind of not. There's a lot of little things to remember, as far as pitching grades going up and down and a few things like that. But really, really enjoying the Appa Master. And I'm glad that you kind of recommended. I actually just went back and I watched our talk on that one time. We had a talk. We talked Appa Master here one time, and you come on and joined us. So I enjoyed that, and glad I'm sticking with it here. It's really not as difficult as anybody makes it. Oh, did I don't know if I said this yet. I know I told Joe today, but I was playing. So I played game 1 of Oakland Boston 88 playoffs. Okay. And I signed up at DigiDugout, by the way, digidugout.com. So I signed up for the $20, I got the lifetime Digi Plus. So now you can print out playoffs with that.
Mhm.
And you can customize the score sheets too. So you can add innings and add pitchers and stuff. So it's well worth the $20. So I decided to play game 1, 88, Oakland Boston. It's kind of as played the best I could. And so here's the scenario. Okay. And this is one of the reasons I really, really like the Appa Master game. So what inning was it? In the 7th inning, Tony Phillips walks. Okay. And then Mike Gallego
Mhm.
singles. So I got first and second. And then the 9-hitter comes up. Walt Weiss, okay, is the
Walt
9-hitter
Weiss.
for Oakland, okay? And he hits it into center field, okay? And in the Master game, there's different numbers to see how deep it was. He hit it pretty deep. He hit it on the furthest one. So I decided, so Ellis Burks, who's in center field with an arm of 33, which is pretty good. It's I think 40 is the best. So 33 is pretty good. But I hit it so deep, and Tony Phillips had a run of 16. I had a 11 to 53 or 11 to 55 or 56 chance of getting to third base on a tag. So with nobody out, I tagged up to try to go from second to third. And I rolled like a 66 or something. It was ridiculous. So he got thrown out at third. Just for fun, right? Just for fun, I decided to send Gallego from first to second on the tag. And going by the rules and how it was supposed to be done, I got the numbers and I rolled again and I rolled like a 64. And I think he was safe on 11 to 61 or something like that. I rolled 2 high numbers. So I had the catch in center field, throwing the third, tagging out the runner, throws the second, tag out the runner.
Triple play.
My first ever triple play. Now, again, this is me being aggressive on the base pass and just kind of having some fun with it. This wasn't like an out of the book like a Strat or an Apple where it's a triple
Mhm.
play and you roll that. But I got a triple play, my first ever triple play, just being aggressive on the base pass. And I thought that was the coolest darn thing,
It's
because
interesting.
now I wasn't like running stupid. It wasn't like I only had,
No, you had the numbers were in your favor.
yeah, they were way up there in the 50s. But when you start rolling high 60s on the dice, you're throwing guys out. And so I could picture the play. He catches it, long throw, got him. Look, oh, this guy's going. Maybe he delayed going to second base, throw it, got him too. It's like triple play. I was like, whoa, that was pretty darn good. you know? So yeah, that was
It's fun.
pretty fun. Yeah, it's so fun. It really is. Um
Yeah, I pulled Appa Hockey out this morning. I hadn't played it in a while. It's
oh,
such a
yeah,
fun game.
it is. It
It
is.
really is.
I had the mat out tonight when I was making my video for the ODAI. I had Maple Leafs Blackhawks out from 68, 69. Haven't played anything in that set yet. It just come in a few weeks ago.
Mhm.
And so I said, well, I'll pull it out and I'll put it on my video. So at least I can get them on the table. And I was tempted to just finish putting the guys on the table and play the game. But I was looking up, it's like I only had like 45 minutes before we come on tonight. So I said,
Mhm.
I don't want to do that. I like playing teams to right the wrongs. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. That's kind of fun too. You like to right the wrongs. Drew was drafted by the New York Yankees. We're talking about Drew. Um, Drew Henson was a minor league player for the Yankees at one time. So these guys all know that stuff, you know. Mike in the truck, what was it? 92 and 93 Pirates losing to Atlanta. That one got me. And Pirates have been awful since. Yeah, that's kind of a bummer. Patrick says in real life, okay, here's the 03 Cub playoff loss. That wasn't Bartman's fault. It was Alex Gonzalez. That was his fault. And yes, we did a video chatting about the APBA Master game. I can't believe how easy it is. You know, and the controversy surrounding how hard it is, it's really not. I mean, there's a lot going on in that, but if you just start playing it instead of trying to take everything in, there's a lot of just basic rolls. It just you roll the dice and it's like fly to center field. There's nothing master about that, you know. It's just when guys are on base, you got to figure out where it's hit. And if you don't want to try to take the extra base, then nothing master comes in. It's when you want to take the extra base, and that's what makes it fun. That's what makes it really fun. Yeah, you know, can't blame Bartman. The thing was, that Bartman thing is that, that would have been an out in the whole bit, but they collapsed after that. Because I actually watched some of that game. They just completely collapsed, and it's like anything else when you watch a game and something happens, like the puck goes off the referee or something weird happens, in a game of some sort, and then just one team just gets affected more than the other team, and they just can't do it. They just fall apart, and so you can go back to that moment and say, yeah, I mean, if we had made that out or made that save or done that, things would have been different. Absolutely. But you have all these other chances to make plays and you don't make the plays. Don't be blaming someone else. You still have chances to make plays. It's kind of like at the end of the game when the field goal kicker misses the kick or something like that. It's like you had all these other plays during the game to make something happen, and you did. The defense maybe didn't stop the other guy, or something like that. So there's all these chances to win the game. It never comes down to the one play because there's all these other plays that happen, but it's always it's a nice convenient thing to blame somebody like that. Yes, a triple play. I don't think that's bad base running. If I have 11 to 55 or 11 to 56 to tag up and go to a base with nobody out, get a guy on third, I'm going to do it. And then the trailing runner had even a better chance of getting to the next base. I just rolled really high, and it was just fun. Again, you kind of create that scenario in your head when you're like, what happened? Maybe they were tagging and maybe he was delaying. And when he saw the throw, he took off and just stumbled. But yep, they were both out. That's my first triple play. Tom Brady was Drew Henson's backup at Michigan. Interesting. Most people that badmouth APBA Master don't even own the game or play. I can see that. Although it is a difficult, no, I don't want to say difficult. It's not like the basic game. It is more. But once you, like Tebow said too, once you play 5 or 6 games, it really just starts. You get in the groove. You know what to check. My big thing was like, what do I check? What am I supposed to do here? What am I supposed to do there? And once you play a couple games and you realize that you don't need to do this procedure every single at bat, just when you need to, do those procedures. But a lot of times you don't. The 30s, 31s, and 32s, those are your fly balls. There's nothing changing that.
I never could understand what on the last statement that was said, how anyone could just knock a game if they never even played it.
Because
I don't get it.
Because if you watch somebody else play it or listen to somebody else describe it, it sounds wicked complex. And some people don't want to do the math. So when you hit the ball, like I say, that ball I hit in the center field, that he caught it, there's either 1, 2, or 3 numbers next to the fielder. And that shows you. And so then you look at a separate dice roll, and that tells you, how far you hit it. Obviously, the lower number is the best for the fielder because what it is those are chances. So let's just say it's 32, 35, and 38. Okay. Those are how many chances out of what is it, 36 that you have to get to the base. Now you take that number and you factor in the arm and the speed to get your
Right, right,
final.
right.
But obviously, the more chances you get, the better chances you have of getting to the base because that's what it is. So that's what confuses people is you get, oh, I have all these numbers and all these this and that's.
I
Just
get it, and I get it. And some people say that's not for me, which is fine.
yeah, and
It's
that's
not for
fine.
you, but don't say
Yep.
the game stinks.
But what I like about it is that you get to see where it's hit. So if you get the lowest number, like if you hit the left field, okay, and you get a guy on second, and you get like a 27, you're not gonna go to third base on a tag. You just because if the outfielder's arm is 37 and it's only hit 27, okay, you're negative 10 to
Right.
get there. And you factor in the speed. If your speed's 11, that means you have one chance out of 36. So it's an 11. So that's how fast you can do the math. So you're like, yeah, I'm not going to roll an 11 to tag up on that. So I'm not going to tag. You hit it deep to right field. Those numbers are usually a little bit higher if you're trying to go to third base because it's a further throw. Now you start thinking about it. And that's what makes it fun is you make those decisions. And
You
sometimes
make
I
the
do, and
decision. Right.
sometimes I don't. I told you that time when I was playing the 78 Reds against the Expos, and I had first and second. I hit it a single deep in the right field. Guy from second automatically scores because I think I had, I don't know, over 36 chances to score. So on that, there's no throw because you can't get him out. The guy at first automatically got the third because it was more than 36 chances. But how the rules are written that anything over 36 is a chance for the next base.
Next base.
So I think I had 10. I think my count was 46 chances. So I subtract the 36 to get the third automatically, and I had 10 chances out of 36 to come home, which was, I don't know, what, 11 to 21 or something like that. It wasn't a lot. I'm winning 6-1, 7-1 in the seventh inning.
Right.
I'm going to send the guy. How cool would it be to score from first on a single? Just, pitch. He got thrown out, but still the idea that I could try that
Right.
was so fun. So I'm doing all these things in Appomattox that I haven't done in any other game. And I just think it's really fun.
But if you choose it, then you roll for it. If not,
Yep.
you move
Yep.
on. It's like
Yep.
it's like when the defenseman intercepts a pass in hockey. You can take that shot for a long pass to try to hit the guy breaking. If
Mhm.
you do, you roll for it. If not, that's it. You just play the game.
Yep. And I, again, my game, my rules. And if
Right.
matter what it is, if that would never happen in real life, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because we're just playing a game on our table,
Agreed.
And so anybody that dumps on me for that triple play, it's like that's how I played it, And I just playing the games, having fun. I manage both teams, I have a good time. Raymond, I know umpires, referees make bad calls, but if the penalized team player scored more, they would have more control over their win. Well, that's what it is. I mean, it just a lot of times everything kind of crescendos, But if you look back, it's like if you had got the extra yard for that first down, you wouldn't have punted. That
Right.
changes the course of the
And
game.
and the penalty might have not been called on that punt because
Yep.
you had a punt and
So
you didn't make
yeah,
the first
so
down. Right.
somebody making a play that they didn't make in the game changes the whole path of the game, and
Yeah.
none of this stuff happened. So I always found it to be really unfair to blame, a kicker for missing or a quarterback for this or that, because there's so many other things during the game you had a chance to make. The guy striking out the plate, you cost us the game. Well, we had bases loaded in the ninth, and nobody else knocked anybody home. So
Right.
that's why it's a game. But I mean, I think as fans, we like to focus on the one thing there, and so missing the field goal or taking a penalty, that's what we focus on. But it's like, and I got to give credit to a lot of the coaches and a lot of the players when they go up to the podium. No matter how egregious it is, they all say the same thing. Look, we had chances to make plays and we didn't. And you can't. And the coach will say you can't let it come down to one play.
No.
You can't let it.
I coached semi-pro football, and the same thing we used to say in the locker room. Don't blame the ref. We could have did this on this play.
Yeah, so I mean, do we have horrendous refereeing sometimes? Yeah, and do they change courses of the game? Oh yeah,
Of course.
They're humans and they're doing their best out there. No matter what sport it is, you can go back and look and find some things that were pretty egregious, and
And if you play history maker baseball, the refs really can change the play.
That is kind of
And the
neat about
umps,
that game. I gotta
the
say,
umpires. What's that?
that is really fun about that,
Yeah,
that
the
game again.
umpires could actually
Yeah,
change the
yeah,
complexion of,
yeah.
of,
Like,
of a.
I mean, I don't play the game. Just not for me, at least right now. Maybe someday it will be, but
Yeah,
not right now.
I'll get you
I,
to play it.
I've tried. People have shown it to me, and it just, I don't
I
know.
like the narrative. I just,
So far,
I
I haven't really. There's just a lot of different things from different angles, and I just was getting confused at it. And I
okay.
said, so that's why it wasn't for me, because I just had all these different things, and no, you don't look here, you look here, and this and that. Now you go to here, now I just want to play a football game.
You know what it is, but and I'll tell you, I get what you're saying. It's sort of like I'm going to give an analogize it to Grant's game. When you don't know where to go here anymore, you have to go here now. And
Yeah.
once you
Okay.
get that down,
Oh
the
yeah,
game
yeah,
flows.
yeah,
The game will flow.
yeah, yeah. Michael tried to show it to me, but when you're not allowed to bunt, it sours you. It really does.
That was his rule.
Yeah, yeah. He probably made that up.
Speaking of him, I just actually got a message from him. He has
Okay.
all the information. So
Oh, good. So Wednesday night,
yeah.
we will unveil D 2026. We'll do the show. We'll probably have to do it live, I would imagine, right? And so
So your call.
so if we don't record it, obviously we'll do it live, so we can get it out to everybody, so we can,
Yeah.
and he can tell you how we're going to purchase tickets. So I'll have to get with him on that too, see if we can figure out
Yeah.
that.
But he did just message me. He says he has everything. Well, he's all ready.
Oh, good, fantastic. So that'll be good. Back to the chat room here. Marco, I can be totally honest. Okay, be totally honest. I'm still having trouble getting Napa football down. Abbreviations are confusing. The position out of date. Still trying to. You want to know the secret? Marco? You go to Pro Football Reference. Okay, if you've ever been there, I live on that site. Okay, you find a game to play. Right, you click on the box score, and it tells you the starting lineups.
Yeah.
So that's what I do.
That's a big help.
I go there, so I take my cards and I get my defense. Okay, I start with a defense and I find those 11 guys. And if they're not there, then maybe they're on another team if they were traded. But football is not a ton of trades. So I dig out my 11 defense and I put them in order and I get my numbers. Defense is done. I take my offensive starters. I do the same thing. Go through the card, take out my offensive starters so I know who my quarterback is, my running backs, my receivers, my tight ends, and they're done. And then I look to see who else caught passes and ran the ball, and I put them in the game. So I have but I take my offense and my defense, my first 11, so I get my numbers.
Yeah, that's how I do it too.
And so now those are locked in, and then I throw the extra guys on the table, the guys who got carries and who got catches, so they'll play. And then you look and you look at the names for your kickers and your kick returners. Don't even bother looking for the symbols on the cards. Just look for the name.
Yeah, I think that's what because that's what confused me in the beginning. Like,
yeah, me too.
Can't
and I was like,
oh man,
what is this?
TE?
ET
Why do you
and a
call
PA and a DB. It's like, yeah.
But there is a chart for that.
Oh yeah, you can look it up to see what it is.
Yes.
But don't even bother. You don't even bother. You just grab the player, and if he's kicking that day, it'll be on the card.
Right.
You don't have
he's
to
the
worry
main
about
kicker.
it.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. And the punter, if just grab the punter. Don't even look at the symbols on the card, because if he's punting, he has the characteristics to punt, and his card will say PA as the lead punter, or KOA for the kickoff guy, or K for the kicker. So don't even worry about the symbols. Just go to Pro Football Reference, see who's in the game, put those guys in, and it'll tell you what position they played. And then after a while, after enough time, you'll just laying the guys out. You'll notice, the ET is tight end, and EB is receiver, and HB and FB are the whatever they are, the fullback and the running back, and all the kickoff symbols and stuff. Again, your kick returners are listed in the game too, so it'll tell you who returned the kicks and who returned the punts. So just put them on your table. You don't even have to look at that stuff there, because that screwed me up too, and it bothered me. It's like,
it drove me crazy in the beginning. Remember, I used to say, I would message Dave and say, "What's this hieroglyphic stuff?"
Exactly, but you don't need it. You don't need, as long as you just look at the name and it'll tell you what position they played, and that's it. And after a while, it is kind of fun. It's okay, this guy's to tackle, and this guy's the guard, and whatever. But I mean, don't do it that way. Do it with the names, and just Put them on the table.
And I found once like you said, once I started looking on baseball, Football Reference, and I found the game itself really isn't daunting to play. It doesn't
So
take
easy.
long. It's setup. It's
Yeah.
the setup. It's doing
Yep.
that, setting
Just
up,
getting your
looking
guys on the
stuff up.
table.
Once you get that, the game
Yep.
goes.
I can do it, and if I'm not streaming and just playing myself, once I'm set up, I can probably do it in less than 2 hours.
Yeah,
And I
and
get
that's
pretty.
for a football game, right?
Yeah, and I'm
That's
getting pretty
good.
quick. Rolling the dice. Call my play, roll the dice, get it
Mhm.
done. Here's this. Call my play, roll the dice, do this, and I just have so much fun with that. Yeah, so that is my advice: is don't look at the cards first. Go to Pro Football Reference, figure out who's going to play in the game, and like I say, just by default, as you put cards on the table, see what positions they play, you'll see those symbols,
Right.
and after a while, you'll be like, oh yeah, that must be this guy here. The only other thing that's a little tricky is that if you're returning kicks or you're kicking off or punting, you need to make sure you're in the right column.
Mhm.
So if you're kicking off, it'll say like KOA. That means he's your
Defense KKOA, right?
yeah. So KO is your kickoff, A is your top guy,
Top guy,
KOB is
right.
your backup kicker. So it depends who kicks in the game. Who's it? So you could have KOB kicking off because he's the guy that kicked off that game.
Right.
And the other guy didn't play. And the same with K, straight K, that's your field goal kicking. But it'll say KOA dash P or dash K. It'll tell you what column to look at for the kicks. So the same with the punter. It'll be like PA dash K because K column for the kicks.
Mhm.
Sometimes though they do both, and you'll have to look at the P column. And same on the returns. It'll sometimes tell you, if he's returning kickoffs, go to the K column, or if he's returning kickoffs, go to the P column. It just says it on the card. Anything dash K or dash P. It's really easy. So what I fought that game just like you did. Oh my gosh, I fought it. And
Yep.
once I did that, I was like, why did I try it the other way? Why was I looking at cards and getting confused with symbols? Just put the guys in the game and play, and you really don't have to worry about it. So that would be my thing.
No, you're right.
Real life losses. Yeah,
And Marco, you won't
don't
forget
wanna
what position Nick Foles plays anyway.
yeah. The issue with Apple isn't complexity; it's the cost. Yep, it is. But
I don't agree with that. I used to think that, and I shouldn't say I don't agree with it. It is costly.
yeah,
But when you take the product, look at the quality of cards you're getting,
and how
and that they
many?
card every player,
Yeah,
okay? And you go and so they don't give you a la carte. That's what I'm trying to say.
yeah,
Other companies give you a la carte, and when you start adding in the extra players and less quality, the cost sometimes comes pretty close
yeah.
from the other companies. I used to think the same thing, and then when I really broke it down and looked at it, and I never, I was a Strat guy for years, never played APA only until 6 months ago. And the reason was cost a lot of, but when when I got introduced to the game and I saw, oh wow, I got every player on the team. I don't have to buy the extra players.
Yep.
That brings it up to, and the quality of the cards, the quality, they're nice quality.
I love the Apple cards. They're really good.
Yeah.
Hockey, baseball, football. And for me, it comes down to how much I play it.
Yes, that's the next thing, right?
So if you're going to get a season and play it for 10 or 15 or 20
Mhm.
hours, you're at $2 or $3 an hour. Is that worth $2 or $3 an hour of joy?
If you spend 150 on a filet mignon and you get 10 meals out of it, now it's $15 a meal. And
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So there's different ways you can break it down.
Right.
Like I say, initially it is, but that's why it's every once or twice a year I'll buy some cards.
Mhm. Yeah,
I
I'm
don't
not
do it
buying
every
from them
week or
every month.
Yeah,
Every 3 months, a couple of times a year.
I
maybe,
spread it
right.
out. Yeah, because you're not spending $20. You spend
Oh no, it is.
$100.
It's
So
costly. I
yeah,
don't deny that, and I
I'll,
get that.
I'll spread it out.
Yeah.
Corey says I want to give it a try, but it's put off for the reason I just gave. Well, let me tell you how easy it is. It's really not that bad, and I don't make any money for saying that.
You know what, Corey? If you want to give it a try, I suggest you buy the game. It comes with 4 teams, if I'm not mistaken, right, Dave? And the game itself,
I
the
think
football game.
I think you get the
Oh, two pro, two
Super Bowl
college.
teams and 2 college teams.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
think it's $46, so
Yeah,
you're
something
not
like
getting
that.
killed.
Yep. Christopher's got some baseball losses here. That kind of a bummer. Yep.
Yeah, back to our subject, right?
Oh, I'm loving It's actually Joe here tonight, not Vinny, but yeah, we're close.
Of course, we
I
both have
am
the same
loving
barber.
when Seattle plays with those old uniforms. Yeah, yep, I really
Yeah.
do. Let me just see if I can share this real quick. Hang on a sec here. Share screen. So I'm gonna go to this right here. All right, so you guys can see that correctly. All right, so I'm gonna
Yeah.
put that.
Yeah.
Okay, I
That's
know it's
it.
over. It's over. So this is where I go, and let me see if I can just blow that up just a little bit. All right, how's that? Okay, so if you look at this, guys, and again, I'm not, I'm just talking here. This is where I go. So this is the Super Bowl game. So I got the Colts and the Jets. Oh, let me bring down the blow up there. There we go. So those are my starters. So what I do is I start with the bottom on the defense, and I pull those cards out, and then I go to the offense, and I pull those cards out, and then what I'll do. So those are my 22 guys that I get my ratings from. And that's just kind of how I do it. Some people, every time they switch a play, they change the ratings. I don't. I just kind of have a generic rating, and I'm fine with that. And then I scroll up here, and it tells me who's my kickers and punters. So I have Vinatieri and Smith, and Robbie Gould, and Brad Maynard. And then up here, these are my kick returners. And, Devin Hester's on here, Adrian Peterson. So it shows me who got it. And I just, this guy got 2 returns, so he's my number 1 today. And these other guys, well, I can kind of alternate to figure out who's going to be my number 2. For punt returns, only one guy returned punts. That's Devin Hester, so I'm only going to have 1 punt returner. And the same over here, Terrence Wilkins, he's going to do all my returning for Indianapolis if I play this game.
That's exactly how I do it
Yep.
too. And
And
you actually directed me to do it this way.
And don't worry about anything on their cards. Just pull out the cards with this guy's name on it, okay? And the only thing is make sure you read off the correct column for the returns.
Mhm.
And then I move up here. I skip right by the defense. I go all the way up to the top, and this is what happened during the game. Okay, so my passing, my rushing, receiving. So I look here. I start with my rushes. So Dominic Rhodes. Now, did he start? Dominic Rhodes looks like he did not start, which is kind of weird. Okay, but he's going to get a bulk of the carries. Okay, because he got 21 rushing attempts. He's going to be my number 1 rusher, followed by Adai. And then this Dallas Clark, which I think he's a tight end, actually. He might get 1. Now, I might throw in a couple other guys just to have them in there and spread it out, but these are going to be my main runners. And then for receiving, the same over here. How many targets did they get? So I got, obviously, these 2 guys are already in the game. Here are my 5 receivers and tight ends that are going in my game. Marvin Harrison's going to get the most passes, followed by Dallas Clark and Joseph Adai. That's just how I do it. Then I'll come down here to the other team do the same thing. I just that's how I do it. I try to make it fairly simple. And so
it works. It definitely simplifies it.
So that's what I do. So, because I was trying to set up the teams and look at the symbols, and it was driving me nuts. And when I just switched to this format, and I says, I don't even care about the symbols, and everybody that returns kicks and punts will have those symbols on the card. The only time they won't is sometimes they have 2 cards. When I was playing that game the other day, I couldn't find this one guy from, I think it was the Giants. I go, where is this guy? And I had his card, but it didn't have any return symbol. So I says, that can't be right because he is their main returner. He had 2 cards, one for running back and one for returning kicks. So he had 2 cards. So I found the one in my envelope here because that was my kick return card. I was like, that was pretty cool. That I thought, oh, they screwed up. They don't have this guy listed. Nope, they had 2 cards, and I think Tony Dorsett had 2 cards one time in 77 or 78 for some reason. So I don't know if one was a returner or something. But sometimes if they need more than those 3 columns on the football card, you'll get a second card. That's kind of neat. Dwayne says, if you look, I was talking to Patrick, the way I look at the price divided by hours played. If you play the game a lot, it's worth it. If you only play it once, it's expensive. Yep, exactly. Yep.
Good point.
So we'll do it live, maybe. So, you don't like how every team has 55 cards, you're only using 10 or so. Well, yes and no. Yes and no. You would be surprised how many times you do reference a defensive card. And occasionally you will reference an offensive lineman card for a fumble recovery or something like that. Because how I play it, and I know it's not how it's supposed to be played, because if you're trying to play it like real, but I allow every single person who intercepts a pass or recovers a fumble to return it, a chance. I roll a decider die. There's a 50-50 chance they're going to try to return it. And there was one time that I remember I was playing the Patriots, and whoever the quarterback was got hit and fumbled in the end zone. Okay. 1 yard deep in the end zone, the ball came free, and it was recovered by one of the tackles of the guards. So I had to pull out their card. I rolled the dice. It said they would get a return. I rolled on their card for the return, and he returned the fumble 2 yards. So what does that mean? He recovered it 1 yard deep in the end zone.
Right.
He got out of the end zone. So there was no safety. So every now and then you do refer the offensive lineman cards. Those are the ones you use the least. The defense, like I say, sometimes you'll check to see, if they got the sack. Sometimes if they return a fumble or an interception, something like that. I was originally, when I first started playing, I was not a fan of all the extra cards. I was like, we don't need them all, this and that. But after I started playing, I like the cards.
They do come into play. When you start, the more you play,
not only
there's chances they'll come into play.
There's something way more personal about holding that guy's card in your hand than just having him on a team sheet.
Yeah, true.
Now, I like my team sheet games too. The second season ticket football, pro solitaire pro football, they're all team sheets, and they work really well for those games. I like my games too with the individual cards. And I know I'm paying for a lot of cards that I'm not going to use as much as the other ones, but it's still, I like having those cards. I do. I just feel like it, for Apper anyway, I feel it really works. And
another way to look at it too is it all depends what type of gameplay you do. If you're a replay guy, you're replaying seasons with starting lineups as is. You want all those cards. If you're a guy that's just gonna, random, just put your lineups together, you don't care who started, then I could see those kind of gamers saying, I don't need 50 cards in a set.
but like I said, it doesn't bother me. And the other thing is too,
No, me neither.
When you have the individual cards, right, you control who's in the game.
Yes.
Because there's sometimes that someone's not in a game, someone's hurt or whatever, but it's a defenseman or offensive guy or a kicker or something. So you have their card, you can take them out. If you have a team sheet, then you're kind of locked into whatever that is. But that's why I really enjoy some of the the hockey bones or the Apple hockey and even payoff pitch and strat, because you put those cards down on the table, right? And those are the guys in the game. You don't have to worry about looking at the team sheet. What if this guy's called up on the team sheet and he wasn't in the game? You control exactly who's in the game on your table. So to me, that's I really, really like that, but if you want, maybe I'll do a football setup video. When I do them, I don't even look at the symbols. Honestly, I don't even look at the symbols. I just pull out the names, put them on my table. And the only time I look at the symbols is to make sure that the card I have is the one that's for the returns, because sometimes they have two cards. So if he's a running back and he's a returner, sometimes they have two cards. So, but if they don't, just the one card, whoever it is, it should say, it should be he's the punt returner or the kick returner. It should say that. I think T is the punt returner and. Was it KR?
Yeah, I haven't played in a while. I don't recall.
It's something like that, but it's pretty easy. So I do like that. Fenner may get to football soon. He's playing some History Maker baseball. Here's the pitch, and Pine Tar. I do like Pine Tar a little bit.
I know where Fenner's going with football because he posted about it and I responded to it. Yeah,
nice. I'm not saying the value isn't there for that, just startup. Yeah, no, there's no joke that it's not.
Yes,
but if you think about it, aside from payoff pitch, which is kind of the anomaly, and in the whole bit, we can get seasons for $44 and get everybody. Is there another game that you get all those cards for? I don't know how much Strat charges for a season.
They charge depending. They can charge. We'll say 60. And then you got to buy the extra player cards. Now you're up another $17. That's 77, and you add your shipping and time. And you're to me, you're almost right up there with the APA.
Yeah. Hmm.
And you're not still not getting every card,
Yeah.
even with the extra players.
Yeah. Obviously, if you buy any game with team sheets, it's going to be way cheaper
Oh, of course,
because you
because
don't
the
have any.
production is cheaper.
There's no cards,
Right,
and so
right.
if there's 30 teams, you get 30 sheets of paper. That's all it is. You don't
That's
have
that's that's what I love about Grant Fines games. He gives you both.
Yeah, the hockey game he does.
You,
Yeah.
you get both with hockey.
Yeah, yeah. I haven't printed out the individual cards yet. I so like how fast the game plays
Yeah.
with the team sheets there that I don't want to set up the individual
My
cards.
intention is to, if I ever get around to doing my 91, 92 Ranger season replay, because I want to do as played, so I'm gonna print out.
Yeah, you probably would have to do
Yeah,
it like
If you
that.
do
Yeah,
as played, yeah.
yeah, yeah. A Triple G, another Apple player, been playing Apple football since '84. Playing it is simple to me as playing Apple baseball. Yep.
Repetition is true.
You just you call the play, you look at the card, and you go to the chart. It's pretty much the only time anything changes is if when you call a pass, you got to just see what the receiver is compared to what the defense is, and
Mhm.
sometimes that A, B, or C will go up or down. Aside from that, it's pretty simple. I don't know. It just works for me. Some games just work for me, and other games don't. I mean, there's a lot of games that I don't play that people swear by, and they don't work for me. Stevens getting hurt in 92, 93 was a tough blow for the Pens. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There
Football
we go.
America. Yeah. Right.
Football America. Yeah.
David has been playing Apple football since 78. And I do the same thing you do. Go to Pro Football
Mhm.
Reference. Okay, perfect. And Sean was talking about the NPNG Plus, and someone else was talking about that, how it's free, right? You still got to print all the cards though, and all the charts and everything out. So I know it's free, but once you start printing a bunch of teams, it becomes a lot. Like I said, that's why I switched over from payoff pitch PDF to payoff pitch
Mhm.
print, because I'm just like, man, and that's why I rebought 79, because like, something, I just rather have the professionally printed cards than me printing it out on my card stock here, which is not as good. And it takes so long to do it and cut it. Just, I'm okay with ordering the cards and paying a little bit of money for it, because
Mhm.
I like the cards, the Apple quality cards. I like the payoff pitch quality cards.
Oh
eh,
yeah, his cards you can eat off a table with them. They're so clean.
Yeah, and the Hockey Bones, their cards from Drive Thru are pretty good. They are expensive, but they're poker cards and they're coded and they're
Mhm.
awesome. And uh, I'd rather play with them than my own creation. Um, and Tim says I like to take Plays Football America, play regular season with an express game, then use full play second season for the playoffs. I need to try to get back to the express game. The only problem is when I play second season express, it just teases me to
And
want
then
to want to play the full game. Same with the Hockey Blast Express. I got Hockey Blast Express, and that's what got me back in the full play
it's
Hockey
true.
Blast, because I was like, man, this blast is okay, but I really want the full game. I really do. Um, and David says, I love holding my 86 Wilbur Marshall Apple football card. You get to see his height, weight, birthday, college. It's just cool. It is just cool. It is something really, neat when you have that card in your hand. It just, I got my, my Tom Brady. I got my Tom Dempsey field
True.
goal kicker,
So true. You pick up that Babe Ruth card and
Oh man,
look at it. My Walter Payton,
it's and
my
you just
Mark
look at the
Messier.
card, and like I remember I have on one of the seasons over here, I got Alex Ovechkin, right? I looked at his cards. It's just one everywhere. It is like, look at how sick this card is. He's got like 3 chances to not get a shot on net. Everything else is shot on net, and it just, that is so cool. It really is. If that was on a team sheet, it wouldn't be as cool. It just wouldn't be. And again, I have games I play on team sheets, and I like them.
Oh
I
yeah,
do.
yeah.
I do.
It works great with
You
like
know,
season ticket football.
Yep.
St. Patrick's game, matchup college
Yep.
football. The team
Yep.
seats work perfectly.
But I do really like for some games. I don't know if
Mhm.
I'd want every game that way, but that's why we play different games.
Right, right.
Sometimes you feel like a nut,
What we're
sometimes
looking
you don't.
for, right?
Yep. Yep. What are you looking for? Sometimes I really, really enjoy playing the individual cards, and sometimes I like doing the other things. Let me see. Where are we here? So, I didn't read what Mark said here. Welcome, Mark. I let Apple football be my time machine, taking me back to my favorite season from my childhood. 65. Been trying to replay the entire season, slow but savoring every moment. Yeah, that's what we do. That's what we're here for, right?
That you shouldn't savor it
We
if you're
want to
enjoying it, right?
take our time. There's no hurry. We play, we enjoy it, and I think I was talking to Barbara the other day. Sometimes we talk when I take the ride home from the games in New Hampshire. And I was telling her, like, I was playing this game and it was taking a long time. But she's just like, it doesn't matter. Time doesn't matter. If you're having fun, you're having
Hmm.
fun. And if you're not having fun, then that's different. And there's been some games I played that I didn't have fun with. It just, yeah, let me just get through with it. But for the most part, whatever I'm doing here on my table, I'm enjoying it. I really am.
Hmm.
And sometimes the longer games are just so satisfying. They really are.
It's funny you brought that up. I thought of that today because I play some hockey. I play full play Hockey Blast. I play Hockey Blast Express, and but today like I said I played APA hockey, and it's a longer than those games, and it was so satisfying. Some like you just said, just to play a full game, even if it takes you 2 hours, it's just satisfying.
Yeah. There's something about when you play the full game out, whether it's, well, baseball plays pretty quick, but
Yeah.
still, I mean, we can conclude that, I guess. When you play any kind of full game and when you get done with it, you've seen every single
Hmm.
thing that happens in the game. And I've said this a million times here, is that you get that 2-yard run, the incomplete
True.
pass, and then the third incomplete pass, and then you punt. And then all of a sudden you get the good stuff.
Hmm.
So instead of the highlight game where you get all the good stuff immediately, there's really not a lot of. I mean, yeah, I've had there's some memorable highlight games I play. Excuse me, but when I play the full play games, it's like this is pretty unbelievable when this happened here. How I drove down the field, or I
Right. You're getting the full experience of it.
yeah, you're getting everything like that. It was, I think it was the Giants there. That guy with the two cards I was talking about. He returned a punt, got hit and fumbled, and the other team recovered it. And I was like, that was pretty cool. It's set up, So I saw exactly how that happened. I saw the build up to that, and then this team went down and scored. Or they drive down to the one, and they don't. Who was that game? It was I want to say it was Tampa Bay. I want to say I was playing Tampa Bay, and they drove it down to. They had it inside the 5, first and goal, needed a touchdown to win the game, and I kept pounding it, and I couldn't get in. And the last play, 4th and 1, I says, "I'm not kicking the field goal. I'm going for it." And they got stuffed, 0-yard gain
Mm.
at the end. But that 4 cracks inside the 5 was so thrilling. It really, really was. I want to say it was Tampa Bay, one of the bad Tampa Bay teams. But whatever it was just they couldn't score. But it was just so awesome, and you saw everything about that. You saw the 4th and 10 get completed. Then you saw the this, and you saw
It's
the
true. You're
that.
seeing you're not missing it 'cause like an express, it's chunks. But
Yep.
sometimes you want that express game.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
But
You know.
I did happen to me in a matchup college football game. It was like punt, punt, punt. It was I had it was the quarterbacks, Marino. I can't remember who. This was a while back, and it was punt. I was like, and then all of a sudden, Marino put a 85-yard drive together. And at
Yeah.
the end of the game, like, oh wow,
Yeah.
if I was playing an express game, it would have been 2 rolls and a touchdown,
Yeah.
and I'm not knowing I'm going 85 yards.
Yeah. Yeah. No, those are really funny. Even when you play the hockey games, it's just like,
Hmm.
you see the shots on net at it. Be like,
Yeah.
holy cow! This guy just made all these saves in a
Yep.
row, and 3 of them were in range, and he still made the save. And this fourth line guy got a goal, and you just see everything that happens in the game, and
Yes.
there's something satisfying about that. And I don't know how many times I'll come on here and talk about it, or I'll even lay in bed and think about this. Oh man, that was unbelievable how we had that happen, and this happened, and it's just the highlight games
They
don't
serve
quite.
their purpose, right?
Yeah, they do,
I
but
enjoyed them.
yeah, like when I play Shootout or Stone Cold, those are
Hmm.
fun highlight games. Very rarely do I walk away from a game of Shootout want to tell somebody about it.
Hmm.
You know, the highlight hockey from Grant, that is super fun, but it kind of falls in the same category. It's like I never walk away from saying, "Oh man, we wouldn't believe what happened in this game."
Hmm.
But when I play as Quick Deck's a full game,
Yeah.
and I see the goalies getting peppered and they can't clear
Hmm.
the zone, and this guy's standing on his head, and you feel that way more
Yeah.
than just
It's like Hockey Blast and Hockey Blast Express.
yeah.
You play Hockey Blast, you see the rebounds, boom, boom, rebound,
Yeah,
rebound.
yeah, yeah. And there's a build up with that,
Yes,
and
yes,
I just love that. Like when you're playing highlight hockey, you get the rebounds there that happen, but when you're playing, the full games or anything like that, it's like you got to check to see if he's going to get the shot away. Can the defense clear it?
clear it, right.
There's all these things that happen that will determine if he's going to get the shot off. So yeah, there's something really satisfying about that. Triple G, he's doing the same thing with 77 Apple Football. Yes, I'm enjoying the. If you haven't gone over to the Triple G channel, go check that out. He plays a lot of Apple over there, and I'm enjoying the 77 Apple Football that he's been doing. And I'll put that on a lot of times at night, and I'll just listen and put it on, and whether it's the baseball or the football. And David said, yeah, OA is the kick returner. That's right. OA is
Yeah,
the kick returner.
OA.
KO is the kicker. OA is the returner.
Right.
And TA
TA
is a
is the
punt,
punt.
yeah, and TB, yeah, and it'll say TAP is you look at the P column on a punt return. Yep,
Right.
it's that simple, really. But just go to football reference and put it in. Oh yeah, we were talking about this today. Joe, was it me and you talking
We
about
were
this
talking about
today?
that. But yes, we were talking because we were talking about the Black Friday sales coming up
Yeah,
and who's doing what, we think.
yeah, we were talking about basically sales in general. And it's just how some people are doing, some people aren't, and it's not so much the $10 you're going to save or the 10% you're going to save. It's
Mhm.
it's just the idea of it that you feel like you're getting a deal. And how many times you buy something for $20 and you save 10%. Oh, it's $2. Is it really the $2, or is it just the idea of the $2? Or maybe you take whatever. Maybe you spend more. Maybe, geez, if I'm gonna get 10% off. Well, instead of spending $20, I'll spend 100. I'll get $10 off.
Mhm.
So they'll make more money on the sales, and I'll save a little bit more, and I'll feel like it's a win-win. So yeah, and I was just telling Joseph, if Apple had some sales, even 10% off, I'd probably grab
Mhm.
handful of
Agreed.
seasons and stock up while I had the sale. But that's just not what they do. So that's what we are, and it just stinks that I just really like their games, and I just enjoy playing them. And John says, strat cards are $60 without the extra players or shipping. Yep. So, I mean, individual cards are just going to cost more. It is what it is.
Yeah.
And PJet is on. You may need to squeeze some hockey in this week. Yeah. Yeah, we do need to do that. No, Patrick. No, Patrick, you're
No,
good.
it's cool.
It's all good, Patrick. It's all good. We're just talking. We're just having fun here. But you're right. I mean, it's real money. It's real
It's
money.
not cheap to get into. There's no question. You're not
Yeah,
wrong about
it's
that,
it's
Patrick.
definitely not. But I mean, again, it comes down to anything. It's like if whatever you buy in life, if you want to buy a nice couch or a nice chair or a nice bed, you're going to be in it all the time. How many times in our lives? All right, just throwing this out there, Patrick. No, you're fine. You're fine, Patrick.
Yeah, yeah.
How many times in our life have you done something? When you fix something at the house, or you bought something new, or you replaced something, and you're like, why did I wait so long to do this? This is
Mhm.
so awesome. Yeah, we've had that so many times. Whether it's something I fix at the house, or fixing the car, or bought a new car or a different car, or change a
True.
bed. I think one time I bought a new bed. This is probably 10 years ago now, and my bed mattress was gone, and I got the new bed in with the new mattress. I put it on. I was like, oh my gosh,
The heck
why did
was
I?
I waiting for?
Yeah, seriously, what was I thinking about not doing this? Yes, the bed was expensive, but I'm sleeping on it every night. And it's like, oh, now I'm going to get a good night's sleep. This is so good. Or maybe, you maybe buy a new TV with all the whoopie
Mhm.
doos. It's like, oh man, this is unbelievable. Or, I remember we bought an air fryer. She's like, I want an air fryer for Christmas. So I brought her an air fryer. I don't know we use that damn thing every day.
Yeah, we use it
It's
too.
like, why was I waiting to buy this air fryer? This is so awesome. You know,
So you're right, you never know.
you never know. So if,
That's something, one of the features I like what Stratomatic does, speaking about, not spending a lot of money to get into it, like what was brought up, it's a big investment for the app if you don't know you're gonna like it. Strat has what's called a selector set. So it's got all the game components, all the charts, everything to play, and you pick 5 teams. You could pick 5 teams, and it's like $23 to get into it. And a lot of times when people say to me, I don't know if I want to spend all that money, and I always say try to select a set.
yeah.
And
Yep.
it'd be nice if Apple did something like that.
Yeah. But again, you can buy the Apple games for $40
True,
and they come with
true,
and you can try them.
true.
And in worst case, you turn around, you sell it for 20,
I
25 bucks
think
if
I
you
think
want.
the hockey's like 36, something like
Yeah.
that. Yeah. And it
And it
comes with 4 teams.
yeah, but if you like it,
Right.
then then like I said, I've played so many hours of some of these games. It's just
Oh yeah.
ridiculous. There's not too many purchases that I regret. Let me just say that. Okay. Now I no, I'm not spending the rent money and things like that. So I'm smart with
Oh,
it,
right.
And usually if I work extra jobs and I get that extra money in, then that's what I spend. I'll spend my seasons on or new games or whatever it is, or I'll pick up, something from Grant or
Hmm.
whatever it is.
Right, right.
I got the payoff pitch here the other day. So for me, it's when some extra money comes in, or maybe I paid off a bill and it's go
Right.
the next instead of bill, so I try to be smart with it. But for me, it just sometimes it's like, oh, and like ST always says, don't wait. Don't wait. Just if you're going to enjoy it, do it. Just don't wait because you never know. Like I say, 86 footballs out of stock. Apple footballs out of stock.
Hmm.
Apple baseball's out of stock right now. It'll be back, but just you never know when it's going to go away for good. So enjoy it now. Why neglect yourself now? I mean, be responsible,
Right,
but
right.
give it a try, and you might be like, wow, this is the best thing ever, or whatever. Stick Tap comes by. Good to see you. Toughest loss. Kings to the Habs 93. Yeah. Yep. Up 1-0. Yep. It seems like the Habs do that a lot. They get into the finals, or at least back in the heyday, they would lose that game one and it would give you that false hope. And then they would come back and win 4 in a row. I think the Rangers beat them at the Forum in game one in 78-79, and then they
Hmm.
lost 4 straight. So it was like, oh, the Rangers got a chance. No, they don't. They don't have a chance whatsoever. Barbara says, as long as they're having fun, that's all that matters.
Good.
Yeah, we were talking about on that one there. We were
Agree,
talking
Barbara.
about how long it takes to play a game. The theater of the mind is the big thing. Yep, and that's what's fun about these games because you roll the
Hmm.
dice and something happens and it's just like, well, could that have happened? Can I picture that in my mind? Yep, I can picture that. You know, and been so fun this week. And as Sim playing, love seeing great pitching. And then that one mistake cost the game.
True.
Yep, and that's why we play too. PJ says my first couple of games of Apper, he gave it a second chance, was so memorable, sold me on the game for good. Yeah, PJ
Yeah.
had a hard time with the Apple hockey at first. It wasn't his thing. Um, and I've had games like that too. Then sometimes you come back to them and just I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's a fresh set of eyes or if it's just a better day or and like the Apple Master. I enjoyed it, and then I didn't play it for a while. I'm like, oh man, I'm gonna have a real hard time with this. And I went back to it, I was like, it's way easier than I remember.
Hmm.
So yeah, I'm happy with that. And
Oh.
Rick, a score a goal was memorable shootout hockey game. Oh,
Right, Joe? Yeah,
you,
so I'll tell you. Okay, you want to go there, Raymond? So Raymond and I played. He was the Decades Flyers, and I was the Decades Oilers, and I was beating him like 10-0. I was destroying them. And the last minute of the game, Ilka Sinisalo scores a goal and breaks the shutout. That's what he's talking about. So I was like, yeah, Ilka score a goal. He comes the last minute, and that's what he's talking about.
I had something similar to that when I was playing a game of Appa, and for some reason it was the third or fourth line was out with like 3 or 4 minutes left, and like I said, I have the computer figure out what line rotation, and I usually go by that. And it was the other team. Yeah, I think it was Bruins against somebody, and this third or fourth line left winger gets the puck and he gets a shot on net. I'm not even thinking about it. And I think his shooting range was like 12 or 13. It was really, really low. And I must have rolled 11 or 12 and it was in range. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. And then I rolled the goalie and he scored. I'm like, it's like, first of all, what is this guy doing out here with 3 or 4 minutes left? And what is he doing getting the puck and scoring a goal? But it would made for a storyline, theater of the
Yep.
mind. It's like, yeah, the coach had a hunch, sent out the fourth line.
I
And
think
son of a gun, they come through.
they come through. I told you the story. So one of the guys in the club, his father never played board games. He occasional watch baseball. So him and one day says, okay, he comes to the club. I said, we'll play basic strat. And, I'm guiding him through. And we get to the ninth inning, and I'm keeping the score. I got a no-hitter going, but I don't say nothing to him. I don't want to say nothing to him. 2 outs, he gets a base hit. And I said, and then the game ends. He's like, "Oh, that was a good game, but I didn't score." And I said to him, I says, "You just ruined my no-hitter." He's like, "What?" I'm like sitting there like, I don't want to say nothing to
Yeah,
him.
don't want to wreck it. I had one of those going. I had a perfect game going, 6 innings, and I was streaming, and someone chimed in and said, "Hey, you know, you got a perfect game going." I was like, "Oh, you just blew it." And then I did. I gave it up that inning of the next.
The one no-hitter I did throw in Strat after playing 45 years at the time, and I didn't realize it until I actually tallied up the scores at the end. I threw it with Tom Seaver. I was doing a 69 replay. And I
Really?
didn't know it until I finished at the end and I was doing all the paperwork.
That's how I got my no hitter. Is I was playing 88 Red Sox A's, and I was trying out a new camera that day. And I had the camera overhead, and I was playing Appa Basic with Clemens. And I'm just rolling the dice, and I'm checking, hey, how about this? And I'm checking the camera, and I'm just kind of rolling the dice and playing this game, and how does it look? And I'm just chatting to people, and and trying different lighting and whatever I was doing. And then all of a sudden, I look up, and I'm in the ninth inning, and I was like, wait a sec, it's like 4-0 Boston, and I don't think the A's got any hits.
Oh, you realized that before the game ended.
Yeah, and so I got the first guy out in the ninth, and now I'm kind of nervous.
Uh,
And I walked the second batter. Now it wasn't a perfect game, you know what I mean?
okay.
For whatever, So I did walk some people, but nobody got a hit. And so now I get a runner on first. And I'm like, oh my gosh, if I blow this no hitter now and I rolled, I got a double play to end the
All
game.
right.
And
Well,
I actually had a couple people go back and watch the whole game and check it out. I was like, yep, Dave, that
yeah, oh yeah.
you
I
got
said
it.
Seaver, it was Ryan. I told
Oh,
Noah
did you?
Ryan, it wasn't
Oh,
Seaver.
yeah.
Yeah.
I remember, I could have been playing it wrong when I first started playing payoff pitch. I had a game with Ryan and another pitcher. I forget who it was. And we went into like the 11th or 12th inning. And it was shutout game. And one of them, I think, had a no hitter going.
Wow.
And finally, they busted it up with a couple of doubles and
Mhm.
extra innings. But I was like, man, we couldn't. One of the teams just couldn't get a run to end the game and save the no hitter for this guy. It's like his team couldn't get any runs either. So it was two pretty good pitches too. I don't know if it was Tanana and Ryan. I forget who it was, but it was a fun game. I do remember that. Triple G is playing some. Oh, he's playing some Apple hockey too. 79 North Stars. Scores 3 goals in the first 3
First
shots
three
in the
shots.
Capitals. When I play Action PC, it is the first shot on net goes in all the time. No matter who I'm playing, I don't care if I'm playing the Seals or the Scouts or the Cleveland Barons. The first shot on net on me goes in when I play Action PC hockey. It happens. So I'll have to check it out. Is that online? Because I'll definitely listen to that tonight when I go to bed. Because I enjoy that. Air fryers are the best. Yes, they are. You know what they're good for, Patrick, is reheating stuff. Like I very rarely will put something in the microwave to reheat it
Yeah.
because
Put
it
an air
just kind of
fryer,
gets
yeah.
that.
Very
Yeah, but
rare now.
you put it in the air fryer and it just
Crisps up.
it just heats it like more naturally and thoroughly,
Hmm.
and it just does such a good job. So I always do that. Anytime we hook up like chicken nuggets or something, just throw them in the air fryer. Sometimes I'll take piece of ham and cheese with some bread, butter the bread, stick it in the air fryer 5-6 minutes or so, and just nice little warm ham cheese sandwich. Oh, the air fryers are so good for everything like that. I do my hard boiled eggs
Oh,
in
wow.
the air fryer. Yep,
Wow.
you put them in 270, 280 for like 13, 14 minutes.
Wow.
Take them right out and put them in cold water so the shell will come off.
Hmm.
But because we make eggs every week for the Friday league that I do, we do a breakfast, and I saw that. It's like, well, let me try it in the air fryer because we would boil the eggs like you do,
Right.
and the guys could never get the shells off. They were fighting the shells, and so they said use the air fryer. So I put it in the air fryer now, and as long as you get them cold water right away, and get them to whatever, and they love them. And the other thing is when I boil them, they come out brown. I could never get them yellow, always brown. And I've used the air fryer; they're perfect yellow in the middle every time. So yeah, air fryer does so much. It really is, The Black Friday show, yeah, I have a whole bunch of emails that I got to go over, and still waiting for all the responses. But we got time. I think we got a
Yeah.
couple weeks before we do the show, so looking forward to that. Top Toronto sports chokes on his channel. Oh, I'm sorry, I really am. Um, the 49ers fan living in KC, so the first loss KC in the Super Bowl is fine. That was way back, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
That was wow. They were in the Super Bowl way back in the day. Was it the Vikings that they? Or was the Packers beat them? I'm trying to remember
Super
now.
Bowl four.
Um,
First KC Super Bowl since 4.
I'm right here on the thing here. I could probably look that up real quick. So going back, it was Green Bay over the Chiefs. Yeah, Green Bay over the Chiefs. Super Bowl one. Yep. Super Bowl one. They were in the first Super Bowl. Then they beat the Vikings. That was the Hank Stram, right?
Extreme.
Yeah, in Super Bowl 4. So yeah, Chiefs have been there a few times. Yep. Yeah, when the 49ers blew it, it stunk listening to them second time. Yeah, I hear you on that. Yep. One of his most memorable games for Christopher, Hafner full count baseball. Jack Armstrong of the Reds threw a no-hitter against the Dodgers.
Mm.
When my no-hitter, Clemens, he was going up against McGuire and Canseco on that 88 A's
Wow.
team. That's why that was a weird no-hitter. That those dice rolls have to be perfect because I'm like Canseco and McGuire. It's just, you kidding me? I got it posted somewhere behind me. Do I? Yeah, I got it up on the wall. I could go. You can't see it over here, but it's up on the wall over there. But yeah, it's just unbelievable. It really was. PJ had a ton of no hitters. Sonny Siebert
Wow.
of Boston. I don't remember Sonny Siebert. A reheat leftover pizza in the air fryer only. Yeah. Even like French fries and stuff. Just throw them in there. So Dufferman's researching baseball season for Black Friday. Yep. We should have a Black Friday show. Hopefully, it's going to be a good one. I mean, we've contacted a lot more people this year, so I have my list from last year. So we'll hopefully add to that because I'm looking for some deals too. I think the Downey's typical. Action PC's got some typical stuff. Play's always real secretive until the end, but it's usually a week-long thing with them, right, or whatever it is. Hopefully Keith will clue us in so we can let you know what's going on.
He said to me in the email he's going to give us a little something.
Okay, good. That'll be good. The Bulls lost to the Magic in '95. That was a hurtful loss. All right, take care, Patrick. Thanks for coming by. Yeah, we can wrap up this here too. I mean, we've been going on for a couple hours here tonight. I just want to kind of get on and say some hi.
It's fun.
And I just kind of, we don't want to have a downer show, but sometimes it's fun just to talk about our real life disappointments, especially coming off that World Series, which I really feel for the people of Toronto, not only because they have the Maple Leafs, but I mean, they came so close. I mean, you see that play at the plate when they zoomed in on the feet and it was inches away. I kind of wonder if he ran it out instead of sliding, if he might have got there because, you can't block the plate anymore. So sometimes if you just run instead of slide, you get there faster. So I wonder if he flew down the line and just ran instead of sliding, if he would have got it. I don't know. But
all I could think of, the way this World Series was with the extra inning games and the excitement in the extra innings coming down to the final plays, and imagine if they had the Ghost Runner. All that excitement be gone.
Well, I know someone else brought that up too, and I don't think you'd want it in playoffs.
No, definitely not. I don't want it in regular baseball.
Like the NHL, when they do overtime in the regular season, then it's 3-on-3, and then they go to the shootout.
Where do you have regular
playoffs are just straight hot. So I think that's the way to do it. I mean, the regular season games, you just want to get them over. You do. But playoff games, if you want to go, an hour or so or two or whatever it is, you want to decide it the right way. So yeah, I'm kind of glad they didn't use any ghost runners.
I hate the ghost runner and I hate the shootout. With that,
I don't like the shootout either. Yeah, I don't like the shootout either. I was rooting for the Blue Jays too, just because the Dodgers had a huge payroll, but he felt exhausted when the game was over.
I was rooting for Mattingly.
Yeah, it was crazy.
I want to see Mattingly.
Speaking of devil here, we were talking about some pocket pen run earlier. So Paul comes by. as a Cub fans, there were too many lists in one program. Yeah, I know. Marco was here from Chicago, and he was talking about Cubs and Bears and Blackhawks disappointment. So, um, but yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot
Mhm.
to talk about there. And again, I had so many with the Bruins, and I wasn't a huge Red Sox fan, but they always disappointed, and Patriots never quite got there. But since in my adult life, we've had a lot of championships, so I can't complain right now. But yes, thanks for coming by, Paul, and looking forward to what you guys have coming up here on the computer program that you're doing. It looks like it's going to be fun. I I,
Oh
I
yeah,
like Pocket Pennant Run. Such a fun game.
I do. I
It,
agree.
I just like that. I'll get that back on the channel
I
here.
agree.
I still what I want to do is I still at some point I want to create my own cards for Pocket Pennant Run because they have on the spreadsheet they have everyone's carded,
Yes.
so to speak,
Yes.
but it's only on the spreadsheet. And they had a really nice design of a card, and I'd like to copy that design and make a team card. Whereas you got like all the pitchers and the relievers on one side, and then like all the batters on the other side, and then even all the extra players. So it might actually have to be a like a season
Yeah, they
ticket
actually
design card.
they actually have that in their format. For you don't want to create, but like let's say you do 84 Mets. They have a card with all the players and some of the bench guys, and then they have the pitchers cards with all the starters and the relievers
Oh,
that you
really?
can print. Yeah, and they actually just upgraded the program today. There's some they went to advanced, now there's advanced play, stuff like that. It's really even I don't know. I got it a year ago maybe. In 1 year, how it's just morphed.
Yeah.
Paul and
Oh my
Craig,
gosh, yeah.
they
I
do
saw
such
that
a
in
great job with
Colorado.
that.
I saw it in Colorado. I can imagine where it is now. So and so he says I should have the HQF finished next month,
Yeah.
and they have the one card on every team in
Right,
history. Okay,
right.
okay. They had a really nice design. I think it was Pocket Pennant Run. I don't know if it was 2 or 3, and they had like the team cards that came with it. They were gorgeous. They was laid out
Oh
with nice
yes, they
symbols,
still do. Yes,
and
when you buy the physical, yeah.
I was like, oh. But then when I went to print the other ones, it was just like a basic
Yeah.
Excel. It was like,
But
oh man,
yeah, the
so
ones they send that they're like giant deck
oh,
of cards.
they're
They're
so nice.
coated. Yes.
Yeah. So I will have to check that out. Yeah, he did show me in Denver, and it's so much better now. But yeah, I'll have to go check that out because I enjoy the Pocket Pen Run. I'd love to have cards on the table so I could play, and show the guys and show the ratings and the whole bit. In '79 in Digital Diamond, I put in every single rating on every single guy, so I could play Pocket Pennant Run, and I didn't need anything because all the
Mhm.
ratings were in there.
They even have a feature if you're doing an as played, like I'm doing the 84, and I use payoff pitch and I use pocket pennant run sometimes. You go in and you can pick the date and it
Yeah.
pre-prints it with all the
Oh yes,
ratings.
yes,
All the
yes.
ratings are filled out. You don't have to fill
Yeah.
anything out.
I forgot about that. The only thing
Yeah.
is if you want extra players though, then you have to go dig them out. Because if you bring in someone that's not on that
Oh
list,
yeah, you know what they do now, the pitchers, they'll show you what relief pitchers actually played that game. So you don't have to look them up. But
oh,
with
nice.
bench guys pinch hitting, yeah, then you just hit up the program and you can
Yeah,
look at the
yeah,
card. Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. So he says in 2026 the advanced version will be printed,
Yes.
and he's designing a mat as we speak. Oh, I'm interested to see that.
Me too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
I'm
good.
interested in seeing the playmat too.
Yeah, good stuff. So
I love
all
playmats.
righty. So I want to thank everybody for coming by tonight as we talked to some fun things here.
Yes.
As we gear up again Wednesday night, we're hoping to be live Wednesday night with Mike Canistrari as we talk sacrifice bunts and why you should not be able to do that ever. I'm kidding. No, we're going to be talking about Digital to DiceCon 2026.
Can't wait.
He's
Can't
got the
wait.
details for that. I don't even know all the details yet, to tell you the truth. So Mike's going to come on. We'll get some details to tell us how to sign up for that and how to buy tickets, hopefully, and all that other good stuff there, or at least we'll have some of that stuff. So, and yeah, we had a good show here tonight,
Yeah, it
Paul.
was a good show. Good chat.
We had a good one here tonight, and Wednesday night should be another good one too. And yeah, we will talk to you all later. Thanks for coming by,
Good night, everybody.
Joe. Thanks for coming by as well.
Thank you, Dave. Thanks for having me again.
All right, bye bye.
Bye bye.